Now, live from Lexington Christian Academy, this is the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team Showcase. Sponsored by eCampus.com, Asbury University, and S&S Tire.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Peyton Hinkle alongside Sports Director Kelly Harazin. And Kelly, you know what? You're coming to us from Texas, where high school football, well, let me ask you this. Is it as big as they say it is?
You know what they say, everything is bigger and better in Texas, which I'll say is half true, but what's not better is the heart and just passion that fans have for their football teams. I would say Lexington, from the few weeks I've been here, gives them a run for their money, so I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. Fox 56 Home Team Showcase brought to you by eCampus.com. We're going to have a lot of fun today here on the pregame show, highlighting all of these teams that are playing a little bit later this evening. And then also, not only that, we have some special stories to bring you this evening as well before we get to some of the gameplay and action. So I want to introduce you a little bit. I mentioned you're our new sports director. You are coming to us from Texas, which is really cool. But, you know, you mentioned how football is really big there. But you know what? You've got to tour and go visit a lot of these schools over the past few weeks. What has it been like touring around Kentucky and experiencing high school football here across the Bluegrass?
I would say the biggest thing that is sticking out to me is just the genuine hospitality. Everyone is so nice. Everyone is so welcoming, from coaches to players. I mean, these student athletes could be college media trained. The guys I have talked to, just their professionalism, but also, again, genuine guys. These kids are 17, 18 years old, and they're so polite. I mean, this has just been a heck of a few weeks, and I'm so excited to continue my journey here in Lexington.
Well, we're so excited to have you, and I know we're kind of really throwing you into things here tonight.
Best way to do it.
This is a big event. All right, let's talk about those games coming up a little bit later. Our first one at 5:30, South Warren traveling all the way here to Lexington at Lexington Christian Academy to take on Bryan Station. That game, again, kicking off at 5:30.
Now, at the conclusion of that game, depending, of course, when that one officially wraps up, we are going to head into our second game of the night, which is going to be North Hardin versus LCA. LCA having the chance to open things up here on its home turf, right in its backyard.
You know what? Let's talk about that South Warren team. They're out here on the field warming up here behind us, getting things going, and we'll show you some shots of them. Bryan Station over our shoulder as well. You know what? They were 13-1 last season. Their only loss was to Louisville Trinity in that Class 6A state championship game. And you know what? They're motivated to get back to that title game at Kroger Field a little bit later on, and their state title expectations remain high this year. A couple things to watch for on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback number 7, Camden Page. He's a returning starter with a full year under his belt. And you know what? Coach says he can run and throw the ball. Brandon Smith also tells us that Page is a multi-sport standout and a baseball shortstop with offers from Eastern Kentucky University, WKU, and UT Martin. Something else to keep in mind, their O-line returning 3 starters this year, so that'll be something we'll get a first-hand look at tonight. And on the defensive side of the ball, number 52 defensive tackle Jaquez Smith, somebody to look out for. He's one of the team's best players, although he did suffer a leg injury during one of their preseason scrimmages. So we'll see how he does tonight, or even if he's able to play. So that's unfortunate, but hopefully he's feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, the South Warren team going from an underdog team to now the big dogs to take down. They got all of that done in their inaugural year in 6A, so pretty impressive. Now taking a look at the other side of the ball, of course, we have Bryan Station, the local Lexington team here. They return senior leadership, which is going to be working in their favor, working on consistency and building upon momentum of last year. Now, they didn't particularly finish in a way they probably had hoped, right at 500, 6-6, 1-2 in district play before they fell in the second round of playoffs, falling to Frederick Douglass. Now, taking a look at its head coaching position, JT Haskins now enters his second year coaching his alma mater, his 2 sons playing here as well. Pretty cool tie that we will touch on in just a little bit. He has a pretty defensive-minded coaching style, considering he was the former DC before taking over for head coach, but he was a former quarterback himself, so he definitely can't be counted out on the offensive side of the ball as well. They have 9 starters returning, so that is going to be something they look to rely heavily upon. A couple of guys I just want to highlight, again, talking about Haskins' son, Jordan Haskins, a 3-star recruit who is committed to play at Louisville at the next level. He is an absolute big guy, both on the receiving end and defensive back positions. Jeremiah Turner is a transfer who comes to Bryan Station as a running back out of Douglas, and a veteran D-line as well. So things looking pretty good for Bryan Station and the Defenders as they look for redemption after they fell against South Warren last year. Now, I referenced the Haskins name in Bryan Station. There is a deep family tie within this Defenders program, not only the name, but a specific jersey number as well. Take a listen.
This is the 4A state title game. Bryan Station and St. X.
JT Haskins Sr. joined the Defenders in 2025, serving as its head coach, having the honor of coaching his alma mater. Now Haskins wore green and gold himself, repping the number 3 from 1996 to 99, leading his team to a state title game appearance.
Number 3 originated from the guy who played before us here, Trey Moore. Looked up to the guy. He was a great mentor to me. I wanted to be like him when I was a freshman his senior year. When he graduated and moved on, I asked Coach Nocta, hey, I got to have Trey's number, man. He meant so much to me. And it was just my way of giving back to him as well, showing him that I'm going to be great just like he was.
But Haskins Sr. wasn't the last Haskins to wear a Bryan Station jersey or with the number 3 on the back. JT Haskins Jr., the oldest son of 2, followed suit. JT represented Bryan Station wearing the number 3 from 2020 to 2023, becoming a top recruit in the entire state of Kentucky, adding further significance to the jersey. Now after that, Jordan Haskins came in and followed up, taking over the jersey from 2024 to 2026.
Me and my brother played 1 year here together. So my freshman year, I wore number 7, but you know, I always knew that growing up I was going to be number 3, just to be like them. So, you know, it was just a legacy that I wanted to continue, and, you know, it was just the right fit for me also. The first game, everybody was looking at me and they was like, dang, you look just like your dad and brother. And I was just like, I know, like, just everything felt like a awesome moment. It was a full circle moment. Everything fell in line, and it just felt great being able to rep the legacy.
Entering his final year, Jordan will be the last Haskins of this bloodline to wear the jersey, at least for now. But the jersey itself will always hold importance in the Defenders program.
I want to be the best Haskins to wear number 3. Simple as that. I want to go win a state championship with my guys. I know my teammates, they want to do it as well. And then just from the community standpoint, I want to leave this community better than I found it. I know my dad did that when he was here. My brother did as well. So I know it's my turn to leave my stamp, leave my mark at Bryan Station.
When Jordan goes on to college, me and the coaching staff, we will give that number 3 to someone who's a hard worker, to someone who's going to cherish it and wear it well. And you got to be able to make plays when you're wearing that number 3.
Well, the legacy potentially ending here, at least within Bryan Station, but not at the next level. Like I said, Jordan is committed to head over to Louisville and play for the Cardinals, the same exact college his dad, JT Haskins, went to. So Jordan is hoping that he's going to wear that number 3, continue the Bryan Station legacy. But if that's not available, he's going to wear number 31. And guess who wore 31? JT Haskins. So pretty cool family ties at all levels. That's going to wrap up our coverage from the first game. That is just one of 2 that we have coming up on the night, starting at about 8:30. We're going to have North Hardin versus LCA here. We're going to take a look at this visiting team. North Hardin, shout out Andre Woodson, an alumni, of course, Lexington, Kentucky Wildcat, Hall of Famer as well, and legend.
And we should mention he'll be in the booth with Paul Jones a little bit later. You'll be up there a little bit later as well.
So we'll be hearing a bit from him. I'm sure he'll have his own insights on his former alma mater. But this North Hardin team is going to look to turn things around. They have seen a tremendous amount of turnover during this past offseason. They're going to have a new QB1 leading the way, Connor Meredith, and he has a pretty cool story. His story from middle school was backup quarterback, high school backup quarterback. Now he has found some success on the defensive side of things. He earned first team all area last season, but now it's finally his time to shine on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. Coach said he feels he is ready, that Connor is the guy for the job at this point in time because he is just so sound-minded. He said he is such a calm guy mentally that he performs well out there physically. So definitely someone to keep an eye out for on North Hardin's side of things.
Let's talk about Lexington Christian Academy. Of course, we're on their home turf literally right now, standing here on the field this evening. And you know what? They're an exciting team to watch, and they were an exciting team last year. We can't pass up the fact that they were the Class 2A state champs. And you know what? I've been talking to a lot of the players. I mentioned, you know what, they hoisted that trophy last year. You're seeing some of that video right now. They also added a ring to their collection. production, but they're not letting that get in their head this season. No. They are on a clean slate going into things this year, and that's what all the players and Coach Watkins was telling me when I was with all of them earlier today for Home Team Friday Night's kickoff. Let's talk about their game and how things are looking for them this season. You know what? Coach Watkins told me a little bit earlier that they are as healthy as they have ever been at this point in the season. You know what? They learned a lot of lessons last year. They started things off 1-3. It wasn't the best start for the Eagles in 2025, but they learned not to panic and to still go out there and give it their all. And you know what? It paid off for them because they went out there. They were
did not stop them.
Able to win a state title. You know, on their offensive side, QB number 8, Nash Wayland, he's a junior. This is his second season here with the Eagles, at least starting at quarterback. And you know what? He really had to step up last season because of Carter Penix's injury, and he was pretty much out there. But you know what? Coach Watkins tells me he's the best pure football player in the state, and that is some strong words coming from the head coach there. He's coached some good guys. On the offensive side of the ball as well, number 3, Sam Pearson, wide receiver, senior Ohio commit. He's an outstanding baseball player as well. He was the 11th Region Baseball Player of the Year, so something to watch there. Number 2, wide receiver, Brady Couch. He's a junior, son of Tim Couch. You know what? A lot of folks know him. Sure. Tim, his dad, played QB at University of Kentucky from 1996 back to 1998. And then also Paxton Gray, a junior and the fastest player on the team. Really quickly, want to talk about the defensive side of the ball. Coach Watkins tell us they play and run a fast defense there. Bodie Darlin, the junior linebacker, he's a defensive leader and someone to watch on the field this season. You know what? I got the chance to also talk to one of their biggest guys on the team, one of their linemen, Christian Shackelford. And you know what? He has a great story. He started playing Pee Wee football right here at LCA. Unfortunately, he had some loss in his family, and then this LCA team and family really rallied around him. Take a look at his story. Lexington Christian Academy senior lineman Christian Shackelford knows football. He padded up for his Pee Wee days and will never forget hoisting last year's state championship trophy. But long before big games under the Friday night lights, Christian's love for the sport started with his dad.
He really just taught me to play with passion and be mentally tough.
The man that raised him passed away several years ago.
I was 10, about to turn 11. And it was really hard for me, you know, during COVID. You know, you just don't have anyone to talk to. I was stuck at home and didn't have my dad anymore.
Even during the toughest season of his life, Christian could count on his teammates.
You know, I'd always like to tell the story of his funeral. They lined the pavement up to his grave burial site. And it was, you know, all the high school guys, middle school, down to the elementary, even alumni were there just to support me and my family.
This will be Christian's final season on the gridiron as an Eagle, but he's playing for more than just wins.
I've played for him. He's my why. He's the reason I tick. He's the reason I go when I play football. You know, I mean, he just, you know, he always believed in me.
And Christian believes in this team, looking to add another championship ring to his collection.
You know, I need one for each finger. That's what he used to tell me. He won one in high school and always wanted another.
As Christian takes the field this fall, part of him still wishes his father could be in the stands to see how far he's come. Is there anything you wish you could say to him right now if he was sitting right here?
I just tell him I love him. You know, I miss him every day, but you know, he's still my why. He's still the reason I do what I do.
You know what a great story there. It's really just touching. And you know what, to see even through loss, I mean, just to hear his story and see how his LCA family and all of his teammates have really rallied around him. And just an incredible young man. It was great to really just spend a little bit of time.
I was going to say, I have chills listening to his story, and that's what I love about the world of athletics. At the end of the day, yes, it's a sport, you want to win, but it's all about the brotherhood, it's the love you have for each other, and you become a family. So it's really touching to hear his story.
For sure. All right, stick around. We have much more coming up on the Fox 56 Home Team Showcase. We have some special guests joining us on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team 6. This is the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team Showcase.
Welcome back in, everybody. Peyton Hinkle alongside Sports Director Kelly Harrison here. And you know what? We're joined by a very special guest, LCA Head of School, Dr. Cassandra Kett. Dr. Kett, thank you so much for being here with us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first, you know what? You've been around here at LCA. You're going into your 17th school year here, but you have a brand new position. You are now the LCA's Head of School. And you know what? You're about a month in.
Yeah.
How's it going so far? You're no stranger to the students in the community around here, but
You've been
I imagine-
around.
Yeah, you've been around, but it's a little bit of a different job, right?
Yeah, I am loving it. I mean, I get to interact with everybody now. Before, when I was high school principal, it was just the high school students and my high school faculty and staff, who I dearly love. But now I get to spend time with the elementary family and our junior high kids, and it's been a blast so far.
Well, congratulations to you on the
Yes.
promotion.
Thank you.
Of course.
Now, you guys got to do something pretty exciting this morning, right? What does an event like that, as well as an event like this, do for an athletic program for the high school, but also the community as a whole?
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun this morning. Toby even made an appearance.
Yes, Toby is their golden retriever. In case you didn't know, that's Dr. Kett's.
Is he here tonight? Is he
no,
going to make an appearance?
he's having a sleepover tonight.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, it's gonna be a late
Jealous.
night.
He's
but
well taken care of.
Yes, he's always well taken care of. No, seriously, it was so fun this morning to see all the kids come out and cheer on their fellow classmates, and we played some games. We had a lot of fun, and we're just so excited to be here tonight. And in terms of high school athletic, I was a high school athlete. It creates this sense of fellowship and community that you just can't get anywhere else.
And I think we saw that this morning. I mean, a lot of the school came out. We even had some of the younger kids out here with us this morning, which was really fun to see. And that's why I love doing our Home Team Friday Nights kickoff segment every Friday, because we get to travel to these local schools and just experience, like, it's kind of like going back to high school, having a little pep rally just early in the morning a little bit.
Bright and early.
Yes, that's right. Bright and early for sure. But you know what? I want to ask you just about the school year thus far. I mean, you guys have a special group of kids here at LCA. I've got to see that firsthand. We're going to see a lot of them playing on the field tonight. Tell us a little bit about your school for people who may not be familiar with it.
Yeah, this is a special place. Like I said, I've been here for 17 years. These kids are the reason that I get out of bed in the morning, because they are the next generation. They're the difference makers. And if we as a community don't invest in them, no one else is going to. That's why we're so thankful for partnerships with Fox 56 and the ecampus.com, because we couldn't do it without you all. So thank you.
And also partnerships with these other schools. We have Bryan Station from across town about to take part in this first game here, which we love, again, just being able to highlight all of our local teams.
Yeah, and you mentioned just how athletics brings the community together, and highlighting yours in particular. We just shared a touching story about how LCA rallied around, and I think that's what's really touching, not only at your school here, but as a whole. So
it's important that we teach kids that first and foremost we should serve other people before ourselves.
Absolutely.
All right,
Couldn't
Dr.
agree more.
Cassandra Kett, thank you so much for joining us on the
Thank
pregame
you.
show this evening. Don't go anywhere. We have much more of our Fox 56 Home Team Showcase, brought to you by ecampus.com on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Fox 56 ecampus.com Home Team Showcase. This is the Fox 56 ecampus.com Home Team Showcase.
Welcome back to the Fox 56 ecampus.com Home Team Showcase. You know what? Things are getting underway on the field here behind us, but we're excited to be joined by the CEO of ecampus.com, Matt Montgomery. Matt, thanks for being with us this evening.
Oh, it's a wonderful privilege to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being with us. Just tell us a little bit about what eCampus is. You make the lives of students a bit easier, don't you?
Well, that's right. We were started in 1999 right here in Lexington, Kentucky. We were the first to sell used textbooks online, and today we sell textbooks to almost every college in the United States, both print, rental, digital. You need some course material, we've got them. And then we also are contracted with 400 colleges across the United States, names like UMass, Duke, Princeton, some in Kentucky, Asbury, and it goes on and on.
So tell us about the ecampus.com Bowl. This is the fourth year for the event, but the second year we've done it right here on Fox 56.
Yes. Well, I think it's just a great event for the community. We've got 2 Lexington teams here, as well as a couple out of town. And it's just there's not any other games tonight, so it's a fun place to be. It's a festival-like atmosphere, and we got fireworks after dark and food everywhere, and everybody's welcome. So
It's just going to be
good football.
a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
I was going to say, you got sports, entertainment, What else could you ask for? Now, you mentioned 2 Lexington teams being featured here tonight, but you've got a close tie to one of them. Your son plays for them, as well as just being a sports family as a whole. I mean, knowing what they have on the line this year, going for the repeat for the first time in program history, just what does that mean to you as a dad and football fan, period?
Well, they were the state champions last year, and a lot of them were younger players, and they did a very good job. And I do have a son that plays on the line, but the line is really terrific. They're just a great cohesive team, as well as the rest of the team. And they just always think they're going to win. That's just a fabulous thing about these guys.
Great mentality.
All right, real quick before we go, I know it's a lot of pressure because you have a son on the team. Any predictions on the year?
On this year?
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll win the state again.
All right.
Okay, you heard it here first.
We'll see. We'll see. Another ring to the collection, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Matt Montgomery, thank you so much. All right, we're going to turn things over to the field announcer, the PA announcer here in the stadium for the Star Spangled Banner.
Please stand, remove your hats, and face the flag near the parking lot for the playing of our national anthem.
Now, live from Lexington Christian Academy, this is the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team Showcase. Sponsored by eCampus.com, Asbury University, and S&S Tire.
Welcome inside the booth here at White Greer Maggard Stadium, Lexington Christian Academy. Paul Jones alongside UK legend Andre Woodson for another Bryan Station South Warren matchup. A repeat of last season.
Super excited about tonight. And what a spectacular venue, by the way. And so I think we got 2 great teams on the merge doing some special things this season. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Bryan Station coming off a 6-6 season. The Defenders obviously want more. JT Haskins thinks he has the team to do that. Meanwhile, Brandon Smith at South Warren. Whew, what a season the Spartans had last year, finishing 13-1. Coming up runners-up to Louisville Trinity in the Class 6A title game. The Spartans' first year in Class 6A, not a bad way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got tons of returning talent, too. So I think defensively they're going to be vicious. They're going to be relentless. And then I think for Bryan Station, obviously we'd like to see what the youth is going to do a little bit, but they also have returning starters as well. So I think we got a great competition tonight.
Then after that matchup, we have a matchup between Lexington Christian Academy and North Hardin. Kelly Horazen mentioned it during the pregame show that Andre is a graduate of North Hardin. We talked about this a little bit last year. It's kind of special, though, isn't it, for you to be up in the booth calling a game for your alma mater?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It means a lot. Obviously, there's tons of talent that's come from that area that's even pipelined to the UK. So it's pretty cool to be here and experience that, and hopefully they got a shot tonight to pull a win. But we'll see. They got a tough task ahead of them.
Lexington Christian Academy, coached by Oakley Watkins, wins it all in Class 2A last year. That was also talked about during our pregame show. Not bad for his first year at the helm after replacing Doug Charles. Doug Charles passed along a lot of great info to Oakley, and he was very appreciative of that.
Absolutely. They got tons of talent. They have foundational to continue to win. And then on top of that, they have incredible offensive line. I think that's really going to establish their identity for this season. So we'll see what the future looks like, but I think they got some promising things ahead of them as well.
If you'll recall, last year during the home team showcase, Nash Whalen came in because of injury in that game for the Eagles, and he showed that he was more than capable. He's now back for another season, and they're expecting big things from number 8.
He's super versatile, by the way. I mean, he can do it all. He plays offense, plays defense. I'm actually curious to see how they're going to utilize him this season. More importantly, sustain him and make sure that he stays healthy. But, again, very special player.
Okay. All right, that's the deal. We've got LCA taking on North Hardin. That's the nightcap. But before that, it's the Bryan Station Defenders taking on South Warren. Teams out on the field, ready to go, Andre. What are these jitters like, the first game of a new football season?
Yeah, the funny thing is most of these players have been training for a long time up to this point, but they're anxious, right? They're nervous. They're ready to get out there. They're ready to hit someone, kind of get rid of the nervous bug. But more importantly, this is what they've trained for this entire time. So it's an incredible opportunity. But, after the first couple of series, they'll kind of get back to a smooth rhythm, get back into the groove of things, and then obviously find their bearings. And I think they'll establish themselves. But the first couple series typically takes a while for everyone to get adjusted to the flow of the game.
Something about the speed.
Something about the speed, the physicality, who's going to establish, who's going to make less mistakes. We'll see. A lot of those factors take place in the initial part of the game. But I think both these teams are ready to go.
All right, we're going to see how it all plays out. Kelly Horizon, Fox 56 Sports Director, joining us in the booth now as well. Great pregame show, Kelly.
It was a blast to be out there. Peyton did a phenomenal job talking to all the sponsors. I mean, talk about setting the scene for the opening day game to kick off this 2026 season. Very exciting stuff.
Weather-wise, not a bad night for August. 83 degrees, partly cloudy. Let's hope a little cloud formation comes in, maybe block some of that sun. I'm sure the players would appreciate that tremendously. So we get set to go. Bryan Station will get the ball first. Here comes the opening kickoff of the 2026 season. Cale Phelps gets it to about just into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Those players were just amped up to have a return there, Andre, and did not get the chance, unfortunately.
They did not, but the good thing about right now, the players, the offense is going to get to set the ball on the right side of the field, left side of the field. They'll establish with sort of the cadence of the play calling, what's already been determined they're going to flow with, and then from there, hopefully they get into a groove and can move the chains. But it'll be interesting to see what the initial plays are as they try to create an identity for their new offense.
The Defenders offense led by a familiar name, C.J. Carpenter, who was at the helm last year. Coach Haskins says that he's actually gotten better this year. His arm's stronger, and he's faster. So we'll see how that plays out over the next 4 quarters here at LCA. First down from the 20-yard line. Carpenter with the handoff. Nowhere to go up the middle. And it's a gang tackle.
Wow. Yeah, and just like we talked about, I mean, South Warren had a stellar season last year. Right now they have a really vicious and relentless defense that they're going to sort of ride the tails on for the entire season. I think they're going to establish their identity being a very physical, tough-minded football team. And so right there sets the tone right out the gate. It's a negative play, first down, and we'll see what they come back with.
Jeremiah Turner getting to know that South Warren defense just a little too well on the first play of the season. He'll hope for better results as this game unfolds. Second down and 12 from the 18 now. Carpenter with another handoff. And once again, nowhere to go, Kelly.
No, I mean, Carpenter, it definitely should be someone that you should keep an eye out for. You mentioned how Coach Haskins said that he is bigger and stronger. Specifically, he grew 2 inches in the offseason and put on about 10 pounds. So someone of that size that could really help. He's about 6 foot tall at this point in time, and definitely someone you should keep an eye out for, as he recently made the Prep Red Zone top 5 Lexington QBs to keep an eye out for. So someone to watch as we open up this season.
I guarantee you he was talked a lot by Brandon Smith and his coaching squad as the Spartans prepared for this first game. It's third down. There's the pass out into the flat. It's complete, but not much, not enough for a first down.
You know, it's really interesting to watch sort of the progression there. You don't really know what the quarterback's read is, but, you know, right out the gate, the defense is playing a really good job establishing the secondary and making sure everything's in front of them, not really allowing the deep pass. But one thing we have to pay attention to is already South Warren has safeties only about 8 yards deep, so they're trying to stack the box and make them pass it. We'll see how that continues to evolve as the game progresses.
Jamel Gibson made that first catch of the season for him, but again, not enough for the first down, so the defenders back in punt formation. South Warren back to receive, the return man at their own 40-yard line. Good snap, good kick, right down the middle, and it's fielded at about the 48-yard line. Then a decent return as he fights off a bunch of Bryan Station defenders. Picks up about, 10, 12 yards or so on that return.
Yeah. Great run.
So South Warren will take over in great field position, already in Bryan Station territory. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line of the defenders. At quarterback for South Warren, it's number 7, Cam Page, back for another season. We saw him last year in the home team showcase. Did good things, looking to do more of the same. He'll have a talented running back behind him as well. That appears to be Jameer Boards, number 1. Shotgun formation, the handoff to Boards, and then the flick back to Page, and Page throwing out into the flat, has the man wide open for the big completion. Justin Capps hauling it in and deep into Bryan Station territory. Look at this replay.
It's incredible right out the gate. All right, they're going to establish this dive flea flicker. Great read by the quarterback. I technically thought he had the post, but you know what? He made a good decision with the rail route. Put it right on him. Incredible 40-yard gain right out the gate.
Brandon Smith not wasting any time to go into his bag of tricks to try to get deep into Bryan Station territory, and it pays off nicely. So the Spartans on the move, already in scoring position at about the 9-yard line. Page in shotgun position once again. Boards to his left, and Boards stumbles a little bit after taking the handoff, picks up a few yards down to close to the 5-yard line, maybe the 6.
Yeah, and they had an unbalanced 4 receivers to one side formation, and then they ran a little counter there. So I wonder if they're going to sort of add a trick play to that at some point down the road. It's pretty interesting that they're already trying to do some nuances to the variations of formations.
2nd and goal now for South Warren.
And they're doing it again.
6-yard line, 6 yards to go. They like that shotgun formation. Page flicks it out into the flat, has his man, but not much after the catch. That yak went nowhere.
Excellent open field tackle by number 16.
That was Capps again. Hoping to capitalize on this drive, but not quite yet. Kelly, here's a replay.
We got fast tempo offense right here. They're trying to hurry up and get them caught off balance.
Well, they may have us caught off balance. No, not yet, actually. So we get to see the full Capps replay. You know what? They were just posturing. Page went to the gun, acted like he was going to snap it quickly, and then said, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let me look over at Brandon Smith, see what he's got. Page flanked by Boards. Once again, it's a familiar formation for this drive. High snap to the right, but Page corrals it nicely, but the defenders are all over that one.
Excellent defensive stop.
And stuff Boards. That was 3rd and goal, so that brings up 4th and goal now. Obviously within field goal range, but is Brandon Smith going to be happy with just 3 points? I think not. So we have 4th and goal. Page in the gun. And again, looks back over to coach.
And right now, you know, what the coach is doing, they're obviously going to call timeout. Bryan Station is to make sure their guys are sort of aligned. But South Warren's really doing a good job of identifying what type of secondary they're in, what front, and then where the mismatches are. And then based on that, you know, they can attack it. Where does this give the disadvantages towards the defense? So it's really smart by South Warren right now to do what we call check with me's. Basically, they try to do a pre-snap, see if there's any sort of blitz, what type of movements, secondary alignments, and then based on those sort of setups, they can basically decide what type of passes or runs they're going to go with.
Back to live action. 4th and goal. Page with the snap.
Wide open.
Fakes play action and then throws into the end zone for the touchdown. The Spartans on the board first with the short touchdown pass from Cam Page. It looked like it was to Cole Helton. With this bright sun, though, it's sometimes hard to see the numbers from this far away. Let's see the replay.
Yeah.
That'll give it away.
And the great thing right now is when they actually do the motion, it's indicating to the quarterback that it's man-to-man. Then they do the misdirection, fake like it's a run. So what happens is that secondary who's looking inside the box gets caught off guard, doesn't recognize where his receiver is, and then he gets caught off guard with that, and then it's a wide-open seam route.
And the 2-point.
And a little trickery on the two-pointer, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, you both covered this game last year. This has got to feel like deja vu for you. This South Warren team came out, its first drive of the game ended in points up on the board. So they came in here, second year in a row, and did the same exact thing, and this just shows you how dominant this team is with all the consistency that they bring back this year.
We shouldn't be surprised, I suppose. I mean, 13-1 last season. Runners up to Louisville Trinity. No shame in that, obviously. No. First year in 6A. We talked about that in the pregame. Mm-hmm. Spartans just churning it out. I mean, making it look easy as they go from one class to the next to the next. Have one state championship already in Class 4A, 2 titles in Class 5A, and now looking to add another one in 6A. Maybe this will be the year. So it's 8-0. South Warren with the early lead after one possession on offense for them. Ready for another kickoff. It'll be Cale Phelps doing the honors. That ball placed on a green tee. Couple of Bryan Station defenders back to hopefully return this ball. We'll see what kind of leg Phelps gets into it. It's a low liner. This one will be returned. Received at about the 8 over the left side. Still going. There we go. It's Braden Payne. And Payne, with some nifty moves, gets all the way close to the 40-yard line.
Excellent run by Payne. Last year, if you recall, Payne was a high-impact player. He had a couple returns. He also made a couple plays running the football. So not surprised to see him get 40, 50 yards on that one.
Braden inflicting some pain. Somebody had to say it. Sorry.
That's right.
There'll be more where that came from, Andre. Look at that return. That was great. Good for him. So Bryan Station takes over with good field position now. Almost to midfield, taking over at their own 39-yard line are the defenders.
You know, Bryan Station has high expectations this year. They have 18 returning starters, so I would expect them to regroup, try to establish the run here, and really move the chains.
Well, they certainly did that. 1st and 10, Carpenter with the handoff.
There it is.
Jeremiah Turner with a lot of room down the sideline. Now it's a foot race, and he's tripped up at about the 10-yard line. Thought he was taking it all the way, but just tripped up at the end. Great run by Jeremiah Turner. That's how you answer a touchdown, right?
Absolutely. Great job by the tailback. He sort of, let's take a look at the replay here, but basically presses the hold, he bounces it out. Great job by the receiver out here. Stayed on the block, gave him a chance to get up the field, punctures it. Now it's just a foot race.
Whew. Only Isaiah Bridges kept him from making it to the end zone on that one. So we have 1st and 10 at the 11, so not quite 1st and goal yet. Carpenter takes the snap, hands off, up the middle. Not much gain right there. That was Raymond Young getting the handoff.
Now we are noticing a theme early in the game. Out of the past 7 plays, I think we've had 6 runs. So it'll be interesting to see if they ever open it up and start to pass the ball to make a threat on the perimeters. Otherwise, you're going to see those secondary really start to sneak into the box and add more players.
Sounds like that would be a good strategy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
2nd and 8 from the 9. Both offenses utilizing that gun formation. Carpenter takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling to his left and looks back right, flings into the end zone, but it's a little high and incomplete.
unfortunate situation right there. If we watch the replay in a second, you'll see that after the quarterback boots, he technically has the sail, the slot route. He's immediately open, but he doesn't see him at first. And then as he backtracks and looks across the field, he actually has sort of a dig route that's coming right behind it. Sometimes those develop like that. Hopefully they'll be able to regroup, perhaps.
Big down here.
Connection here.
3rd and 8. Again, not 3rd and goal. Can get to the 1 for a new first down. But certainly would like to punch it into the end zone if possible. Coleman with Jeremiah Turner to his left. Gives to Turner, and Turner has nowhere to go. Tries to bob and weave right, then left, then back up the middle. And he may have lost yardage. That brings up 4th down. Here's a replay of it. You surprised they went with a running play there?
I'm very surprised. It tells me one or two things. A, they were trying to gain some yards so they can make the 4th down more manageable and go for it. Or B, they don't have a lot of confidence in the quarterback and relied on the run game.
So instead they bring in Samuel Diaz-Flores. He wears number 45. He is the place kicker for the Defenders. The hold will be by Jordan Haskins, the coach's son. We have yet to say his name until right now, tonight, during the game. Flores, highly regarded by JT Haskins, and the boot is up and good. Bryan Station on the scoreboard answers that early South Warren touchdown with a field goal drive of his own, and with 4:53 left to go in the first quarter, South Warren leads it 8-3.
We're warm. I know y'all warm.
Of course, none of this would be possible without the sponsors, supporters for this game.
Yes, Asbury University, we could not do this without them. We're grateful for them for opening up this 2026 season on such a spectacular platform.
I have to give Asbury a shout out. When we first launched in 2022, January 1st, 2022, we had so many employees who were graduates of Asbury University, and they were a big reason for our success early on at Fox 56 News. Really can't thank them enough for Asbury for turning out such good students. We had Caleb Schaefer from Asbury. We had another one of our directors, Mackenzie, super talented. And there are many more that still work with us. Maddie Goins from Asbury as well, so shout out to them and the university. Seems to be a flag of some sort. False start on Bryan Station on the kickoff. Maybe somebody a little too eager to get down there and hit somebody.
Yeah, right now, if they're a great drive and got some points on the board, you really have to prevent any mental errors or penalties. And so you'd like to see them sort of not do that. But more importantly, they got to scrub that from their memory bank and move on and get to the next play.
Samuel Diaz-Flores, very easy to spot on the field. He may be the only player with pink cleats. And he's going to put one of those pink cleats into that pigskin again. But again, the referees have a whistle to blow.
That was 27 white, right?
Not sure what that penalty is or why the whistle. Maybe it wasn't a penalty. I actually think it's a great opportunity because we can see his pink cleats again. All right, Flores will try it again. 8-3, South Warren leading, still in the first quarter. 4:53 to go. It's a short kickoff, fielded at the 18-yard line. Big room up the middle, and a hard hit, ball loose, and recovered. The ball came loose, and then Will Mays, I believe, scooped up that fumble after the return. Got some extra yardage, it looks like.
It appeared to be Ethan Fun who punched the ball out. Either way, excellent tackle.
I believe Isaiah Bridges coughed it up. Now, he may have been down. It's hard to say, but not reviewable. So the Spartans will take over at their own 45-yard line, leading by 5 with under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Page, play action, then throws over the middle and a hard stick by Jordan Haskins. You know he had to love the feel of that one, although the Spartan player is down on the turf, and you don't like to see that.
No, they're in a 3-by-1, did the run play action. Technically, the quarterback's reading the linebacker. The linebacker aggressively steps up, but you got to see that safety behind him. The safety's not moving at all. He's actually reading the third man across the field. It's his responsibility, and he does an excellent job, the safety is, to drive across them. Textbook form tackle as well. Really good by him. It's unfortunate for the tight end, though. Got the brunt of it.
May have been Will Mays again. It's hard to spot there, but I believe it was Will Mays. Trainer out on the field. Thankfully, they're helping him up relatively quickly, and he's walking off on his own power. Good to see.
Now, I mean, no one loves to see a player go down and get injured, but that is just why Jordan Haskins is so good. That's why he's headed over to Louisville. He is such a talented player, and really, it's no surprise either. You look at his dad, he made a legacy of his own back from 1996 to 99. His brother followed up from 2020 to 23, and now it's Jordan's turn, and he has definitely made a legacy of his own, even just by the performance out that we just saw.
The handoff up the middle. Goes Jameer Boards. Back to Haskins. Yes, Louisville commit. His dad was telling us earlier in the week when we chatted with him over the phone that schools like UK, Virginia Tech, and Illinois also had interest in Jordan, but pretty hard to break those Louisville ties for that family. It was a gain of 5. That brings up 3rd and 5. For the Spartans. Didn't look like Page was ready for the snap. And there comes the hanky. That'll back it up 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
I was curious what the play call was going to be because they technically had a legal formation. They had about 8 guys on the line of scrimmage, so if they were going to pass it, that would have been a penalty anyways. 35, clearly they feel confident in their offensive line, establishing that line of scrimmage and moving forward, getting some vertical movement. I think in this distance they're going to have to pass it.
Yeah,
or
no
a screen.
Doubt. 3rd and 10. Page is definitely doing that. Throws it out. Screen to Boards. Boards doing his best to barrel his way toward the first down. Came really close.
That's a friendly spot by the ref.
I didn't think he got the line.
I'd love to see that replay. I thought he was a yard short.
I think some of the Bryan Station defenders who hit him may have had the line, but not him. Here's a look at it again.
Great job by the tailback, though.
They have given them the first down. No, I don't see that at all.
Yeah, by that angle, it appears he's short.
All right, well, first down for South Warren on the move at the Bryan Station 45-yard line. Page with both running backs behind him. He'll flip it to Isaiah Bridges. Bridges over the left side. Not a bad gain, but nothing too much. 21 for Bryan Station in on that gang tackle. That was Joel Deisaba.
Interesting little concept there. They're in a bunch. They actually go in motion, and then they run a counter out of that. That's pretty cool to see. Again, just shows the variations of looks and packages that they're giving Bryan Station. I guarantee at some point in this game they're going to start to do some trick shots off that as well.
Brandon Smith with a quarterback background, not surprising that he would have pretty good imagination when it comes to play calling. Another handoff over the left side. Bryan Station's there to stop Boards, but picks up a few yards.
I love to see the physicality out of Jordan Haskins. I mean, this guy is coming up and meeting the offensive player right at the line of scrimmage, and he is not budging backwards. It's impressive.
He looks like he's a magnet to contact. 3rd and 5. Page, hands off, up the middle, decent enough gain to get the first down. And so the chains move. That was Colton Lyons. Under 2 minutes to go now in the first quarter. Spartans with a 5-point advantage, looking to tack on some more on their second possession of the game. All on the 33. Nice job by Bryan Station there. Seemed to sniff that one out and was ready for it.
You know, you wonder, like, with all the play calls, all the designs, all the concepts, how much this is going to start to wear on the defensive unit, because they're forcing them to go sideline to sideline. Then they also have vertical packages, and they got all these trick plays and motions, and they're making the defensive line sit in their stands for a long time. At some point, you know, they're going to have to get this offense out the field. Otherwise, it's really going to wear that defensive unit down.
Yeah, it does not bode well so far anyway. Page out into the flat. Good defense by Bryan Station. Flag comes in, though, after Isaiah Bridges is brought down after the catch and short gain.
I'll say we got a holding offense, but let's see.
Hey, you've played this game.
I think so. A couple years. Yeah, it's really tough for the receiver. We see the replay here. It puts him in a bind when he's out there in an island with the DB, and he's got to hold him to allow the receiver to make a play in space. You know, this play needs to be faster. And when it takes a long time to develop, that receiver, he's really put in a tough position right there to hold on to that block. One thing the receiver's got to remember is not keep his hands out wide. He's got to keep it on the chest plate.
Suddenly a promising South Warren drive is now a bit tenuous. 2nd and 18 from the 41. 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Page gives up the middle. Maybe a gain of 4 or 5. That was Colton Lyons again. And that should be the final play of the opening quarter. All right, that's the end of the first quarter. Bryan Station 3, South Warren 8. 8-3. The Spartans on top.
All right, don't go anywhere.
You're watching the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team Showcase.
I'm Kelly Harrison, joined by Paul Jones as well as Andre Woodson. Currently, we are headed into the second quarter where South Warren is going to be up over Bryan Station 8-0, but this game still very well within reach for the defenders, despite how good South Warren looked last year and how much consistency they bring back this year.
Yeah, you know, the great thing about Bryan Station, what I'm seeing right now, is there's a lot of tenacity, a lot of fight. They've been able to prevent them from establishing or sustaining some of these drives. Right now, if they can get themselves off the field, that would be a huge win for them defensively right now.
This is a good chance on 3rd and 14. Page needs a lot of yardage. Throws over the middle and completes it. And there he goes. In for the touchdown. Jameer Boards beat his man. And he's in for 6. That was a fantastic throw.
That was a fantastic throw, fantastic concept. We just talked about they were reloading with top playmakers, and Jameer Boards is one of those guys stepping into a major role. Incredible job by them.
Great start to the second quarter. Kelly, here's the replay.
Yeah, you talked about Board stepping into a bigger role. He's likely replacing the production of Caden York, who ran for over 1,000 yards last season. Now, of course, we just saw him. That was a receiving touchdown, but that just shows you the duality of Boards, that he is going to be a menace this upcoming season on the ground as well as a target for their quarterback.
Just had a step on the defender, and that was all it took.
Now on the other side of the ball, how demoralizing it is for Bryan Station. It's 3rd and 15. They got a chance to get off the field, prevent any additional points, and just like that, they score a touchdown. Now the score is 15-3. Got a uphill battle from here.
Now, you've been in this position before, I'm sure, as a player. What does it feel like to be in this position? New quarter, you're thinking, all right, let's keep the momentum rolling. And the first play of the second quarter, how do you bounce back from that mentally?
You're going to have to take it play by play, right? There's no way to overcome this obstacle unless you continue to sustain drives and get points on the board. And it's going to take every person out there to do their job. So right now, especially from a quarterback standpoint, his focus is going to have to be on ensuring his team's locked in, making no more further mistakes throughout this game.
Kind of an odd kickoff there. Like
it was.
Squib. I don't know if it was a mishit or whether that was trying to catch Bryan Station by surprise, but it didn't work. The defenders safely fielding that ball and then have very good field position to start this very important drive here early in the second quarter. The way South Warren's been playing, you almost feel like this is a must-points-have drive for the defenders.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they open the playbook and allow the quarterback to throw it this series. This drive is going to be super important to stretch the secondary, get them out of the box. They're in a 3-by-1, so the probability of them throwing the ball is highly.
And yet that's what they do. It's Carpenter over the right side, completes it for a gain of about 8.
So again, a nice little RPO. The quarterback's reading the linebacker. The linebacker bites down when he shows run. He's throwing into the open space. Good job at throwing the ball, connecting, getting positive yards.
Tyler Crutcher, the junior wide receiver, with the grab, sets up 2nd and 3 after a gain of 7.
This builds some momentum for the quarterback. It's always good to see the receiver catch the ball. Maybe he starts to get into a rhythm.
Carpenter flinging it down the left side this time. Had his man open, but just overthrown a bit.
Those are tough balls. You know, you have to see it and try to lead them down straight. Sometimes it can get away from you, the quarterback, but right there, that was one of those I guarantee he wishes he could get back.
Raymond Young had a good opportunity for a very big chunk play right there. He's a little frustrated as he comes back to the sideline as he takes this next play off. He knew he had something there. So now 3rd and, I guess it's 3rd and 1, excuse me. Oh. Broken up. So 4th down comes now. What do you do if you're JT Haskins? You're down 15-3, you're down 12 points. I think I know what he's going to do. He's bringing in Jeremiah George, big running back, number 34. There's the replay. Throwing in traffic, that was a tough one. Would have been enough for the first down, but that would have taken an absolutely perfect throw.
All right, this is a critical 4th down.
So 4th and 1. Jeremiah George, who I thought would be a good play to come in, he's now heading back out, and now the coaches want to talk about it. Timeout on the field with 11:06 to go in the second quarter. 15-3, South Warren leading Bryan Station.
All right, we're going to be right back, but before we go, S&S Tire, we're going to give them a quick shout out for early this football season, helping us out for Home Team Showcase. S&S Tire, thank you so much once again. If you have any tire worries, issues, it's important to keep your vehicle tip-top shape, of course, for your own pleasure as well as luxury and safety. So if you ever need anything, S&S Tire.
I'm not sure if we have any Fox 56 employees who have come through the SS Tire organization the way they did Asbury, but still, we really appreciate SS Tire for everything they do as well. Great to have sponsors on board. Everybody wants to be a part of this community connection, and we're just so honored that we get to be a part of it here at Lexington Christian Academy for another season. 4th and 1. You can't get more people in the backfield than Bryan Station has right now, and they draw the offsides. Or do you think it was a false start?
Yep.
False start. Well, does that bring out the punting unit?
That absolutely brings out the punting unit. They had an interesting concept of formation. They were in Wildcat, what we call a diamond back, and basically there's 4 total running backs there. So I'm assuming they were going to do either a triple option or some sort of misdirection. Either way, this puts them in a bind. They're going to have to punt the ball and give it back to South Warren.
That has to be so frustrating for JT Haskins. His team needs points. So important at this point. You have a good chance to pick up a first down with just 1 yard to gain, and a mistake cost you. Now here they are punting. High punt toward the sideline, and it gives a nice bounce out of bounds right near our sideline reporter, Jordan Adams. He's down there trying to get some information. We'll hear from him later on in the broadcast. See where the referees spot the ball. Looks like the ball's going to be spotted at the 14-yard line of Bryan Station. Of South Warren. I suppose later in the season, when there's a play like 4th and 1 that we just saw from Bryan Station, probably less likely to make that mistake as opposed to an opening game.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be mentally locked in and minimize as many penalties as possible. Obviously, with the first game of the season, you're going to have mental errors. But right now, they got to do a better job of just staying patient, locked in, continue to be violent at the line of scrimmage. Right there, they did an excellent job. There was no vertical movement by the offensive line, and they actually got a negative play. So good for them. It's a good first down. See if they can continue to sustain that.
I think at this point it's fairly obvious that Boards is going to get the ball most likely. He's getting a lot of handoffs.
He's getting a lot of touches.
When Page is not throwing the ball. 2nd and 11 after a loss of 1 on that nice defensive play for Bryan Station.
And again, an interesting formation right here. You typically don't see the bunch into the boundary, and so curious if they're going to do a shot on the outside or if they're just going to hand it off. They're doing a shot.
Page fakes the handoff, then throws downfield. Great throw and connection. Justin Capps once again. He had that big play in the first quarter and showing off the wheels and the hands again right there.
Yeah, they call it a climb route. Basically, the receiver's going to go under the linebacker, the first linebacker, and he's going to go over the second linebacker, and it's a dangerous throw, but the quarterback threw it absolutely in the right spot. Beautiful.
Coach Smith talked about the strong arm of Page. Doesn't surprise me. It looked good there. 1st and 10 now at their own 40-yard line. The Spartans on the move again. Handoff over the left side. Some legs churning. Gain of about 9 right there.
This is a great run concept. You actually see this in the college and professional level as well. The receiver who's on the ball typically will pinch down on the defense end, and then you have 2 pullers. And they come around basically going to attack the cornerback and then the safety, which gives the tailback a massive lane to pierce. And really smart play calling right now by the offensive group.
Walker Summers is in the backfield with Page. He's the one who had that run just a moment ago. And he's not going to get it this time. Page, play action, throws it over the right side, has a man open, but it goes through his fingertips. Capps unable to make the grab there. Still having a very good game so far. Actually, that may be, is that 6 or 5? No, that's 5. Check that. Tucker Sears.
You'd like to see Page take just a little bit off this. I know he's got some pressure there. It's hard to make the pass, but again, very nice concept. They call it a sail route. You basically have a post by the outside receiver, and then the slots run in a deep sort of corner route.
3rd and 1. Handoff. Summers. And I don't think he got it.
Knowing Coach Smith, I'm gonna guess he's gonna go for this.
Nice tackle by Logan Smith. Denies the Spartans a first down. But I think you're right. I think he's going for it, and might as well. Walker Summers still in the backfield. He'll get the call, try to fight his way for a first. I think maybe last minute effort may have gotten it, though it's hard to say.
Oh, that's tight.
JT Haskins is down on the field signaling the other way. Of course he is. Oh, I love that.
I think it may be short.
It felt like it.
Be a huge relief for the defense. They need to get off this field. They've been predominantly on the side of the ball.
There will be a measurement.
Pretty much all game.
Here they're running out with it. Time for the all-important stretch of the sticks.
Ooh! Yeah. First down.
Bryan Station
Wow.
trying its best. Thought they had made the stop, but no.
Fans are getting up in arms about that one. Because arguably that was the second close call that they've given South Warren the first down that Bryan Station felt like they had stopped.
Of course, those fans are quite happy about it. They're for South Warren.
Sitting silent and happy over on that end of the field.
All right, 1st and 10 at midfield. Page with 2 running backs, one on each side of him. Gives it to Boards. Boards up the middle. Gains about 6. He's a hard runner.
He is a hard runner. He's aggressive. He attacks. Doesn't slow down. He's looking for contact. And then the great thing, he falls forward. It's a great trait for a running back. When they take contact and they still fall forward.
He's a big north and south runner, too, it looks like. He doesn't waste a lot of time heading to the sidelines.
He's going to press that hole and find that crease. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take some sort of play-action shot here. 2nd and short, it's pretty manageable.
Boards and Clay Helton in the backfield with him.
Oh.
I saw tire bits fly there. Boards slipping on the turf here at Lexington Christian Academy. Watch the beads. Here we go. Yeah, there they are. Those are S&S tire beads. All right, back to live action. 3rd and 6. I think this will be a passing play, and it is. Page gets it to Caps. Caps breaks through the defense and gets about an extra 10 yards after the catch.
See that replay? It's almost like an inside snag concept where the slot receiver is basically going at a 45-degree angle towards 5-6 yards, and then he's hooking up, finding space.
Run this time up the middle. Not much there. Here's a look at that play before.
Yeah, these are cleverly well-designed plays. You're putting a bunch of stress on the linebackers. You have a swing route, which is forcing that linebacker to make a decision. Who's he going to go after? And then you have the slot receivers coming right behind him. So he doesn't have much visibility. The quarterback just basically makes a decision. Who's the linebacker covering?
He was surrounded by about 6 defenders. Still managed to weave his way through. Whistle on the field. It's a flag against the Spartans. Second and 14 from the 24 after that penalty. Definitely a passing play is my guess. Page, and he proves me wrong with the handoff. But it went nowhere, so I think the coach would probably have liked what I thought instead. But
yeah.
Just a thought. And maybe they were trying for a little surprise there, but nobody was fooled.
The only thing I could think of is they were potentially trying to run it just to make third down more manageable. But now this really puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback to make a good decision and not force it and create a turnover. And get 5 more yards. I think they're in a good position to go for field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how aggressive they get. They might go for the end zone.
3rd and 14. Page does go for the end zone. Ooh, and a good defensive play right there.
Well, those are difficult passes.
15.
That type of concept right there, the quarterback has to do a really good job of bringing the receiver back to the sideline versus taking him upfield because that safety is undercutting. So he has to be very cognizant of making sure that he's pushing towards the width of the field versus taking him up the field.
You surprised they didn't use that down to maybe gain 7 or 8 yards instead of going for that longer pass play now because they're going for it on 4th down and 4th and 14.
I think they feel very confident right now in their ability to move the ball against Bryan Station.
Page over the middle, completes it, caps, gets down to about the 2-yard line, another first down. Those two have been a great combination to this opening game of the season.
Yeah, you can probably expect to see a lot more of Caps, not only tonight, but this entire season. Caps was their second man in the receiving position last year behind Jake Carter. He collected 563 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns, and likely he's already on pace to probably break that, I would say, coming into this season.
Yeah, he's looking really good. If he has these kind of games throughout the season, that record's in trouble. We have an injury on the field for Bryan Station, so there's a timeout on the field. 15-3, South Warren leading, 4:35 to go before halftime. And Kelly, just for folks who are getting to know you, you were in El Paso, Texas before you came to Lexington.
Yes.
Texas has some pretty good football. How would you say what you're seeing tonight compares to what you saw in the Lone Star State?
Yeah, you know, Peyton asked me a similar question before the game started. And you know the saying, everything's bigger and better in Texas. But I would have to disagree since being out here, because I would have to say the heart and the passion of these fans, no matter if you're from Eastern, Western, Central Kentucky, they love their football and they support their teams through thick and thin. And that's exactly what I saw from Texas as well. They love their football. They have such a passion for it and a deep love for the game and for these guys, no matter who it is that is wearing those jerseys every single night. And I have to say Lexington gives that their run for their money.
Good to hear. So 1st and goal for the Spartans at the 3-yard line. After that big 4th down conversion, the pitch out to the left side, another slip on the tire turf, and perhaps a loss of a yard or two.
Yeah, it looks like they were in an unbalanced left position or formation, did a pitch out. And Bryan Station was able to sniff it out, make a great play in the backfield.
It was Colton Lyons trying to make something happen, but yeah, it was not happening.
All right, we're going to have a timeout on the field, and we're going to check in with our very own Jordan Adams, who's going to bring us a live report from Bryan Station sideline. He's heard a little bit about what the defenders are thinking and doing as they currently trail 15-3 with 4:02 before the break. Jordan.
Hey guys, was just talking with Coach JT Haskins before this timeout, and he was really emphasizing the mental mistakes from the team so far. Before the end of the first quarter, heading into the second, 3rd and long, trying to get off the field, and they give away a touchdown. And then, just a couple minutes later here in the second quarter, they got a 4th and 1. They bring in Jordan Haskins, a little wildcat action. They said to go on 2. They called it taco, and they go off 1 and get a false start, and they get backed up, and now they have to punt it. These types of plays, little plays, add up, and that's why they're down right now 15-3. We'll see if they can get off the field here and force another field goal. Back to you guys.
All right, Jordan, thank you very much. I'm hungry. Please don't mention tacos ever again tonight. Great report down on the field. Jordan Adams bringing us the latest from the Bryan Station Defenders. 2nd and 5 from the 5. So 2nd and goal. Page, play action, looking into the end zone, has a lot of time, but perhaps that because there was a holding play, holding flag on the play. So no matter what happened on the rest of that play, which wasn't much, it's coming back.
And again, the quarterback doesn't have an opportunity to kind of see the play develop, but if he does see downfield, again, the offense has some really neat wrinkles in the system that they're running. Slot receiver runs a sail route, kind of bends in, goes inside the linebacker, and then eventually comes outside running that corner route. He's got him wide open. He just unfortunately doesn't see it as it unfolds.
Bless Aiden Hines' heart. Did you see the way he gave the tug, and then as soon as he realized he was going to get caught for it, he's like, oh, no. Sort of alligator armed his arms back. Like, nope, wasn't me. I don't blame you, Aiden. I would have done the same thing. All right, 2nd and 15 now. 2nd and goal from the 15. A lot of work to do for that Spartan offense. They're going to try to get a little bit back on the ground, and they do with Tucker Sears, but maybe a gain of 3 or 4 at the most.
Again, really good job by the defense right there. I mean, they met him in the hole. They've been stout so far. But I love the mobility of the offensive line for South Warren. I mean, those offensive linemen are moving. They're doing a bunch of down and arounds, and it's great to see them, show that type of agility. Really gives a play caller multitude of opportunities to call different looks, different variations, different packages.
Mm-hmm. All right. 3rd and goal from the 13. Page, play action, has time, rolling to his right, trying to do it with his legs, gets around the corner, but tripped up at about the 6-yard line. That was a touchdown-saving tackle right there for the Bryan Station Defenders.
Yeah, that was a great job by Sean Taylor, number 11. Excellent job, not leaving his feet, taking the pump fake. He stayed with the quarterback, wrapped up, sound tackle.
Here's a replay as the Spartans come out and try to set up for a field goal. That definitely was a touchdown-saving tackle right there, Sean Taylor. So in comes Cale Phelps. This should be a chip shot for him. Justin Capps with the hold. Good snap, good kick right down the middle. And South Warren adds to its lead. Now 18-3, the Spartans leading the Bryan Station Defenders. Just over 2 minutes to go before halftime. This is another important drive for Bryan Station.
Absolutely. Now that they prevented from a touchdown, I mean, it's still a 2-score game, so they can get down the field, get a touchdown, gain some momentum. Let's see what happens in the second half. But first, they got to establish the run and the line of scrimmage, and then gain some first downs, move the sticks.
Here's a good look at JT Haskins. We asked him about what it's like coaching his son again, Jordan. Said it's just a fantastic thing that he's experienced in his life. Obviously has experience doing it before, and really is just so happy to have that opportunity. He said Jordan's like a coach on the field. And you can see how that makes sense, right, Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, he not only looks like his dad, but he embodies his dad leadership, his skills on and off the field. He really is a kid who is wise beyond his years. He's truly a mini JT out there, so I would believe that he's a coach out there on the field as well as a player.
JT had an eventful summer. He doesn't like to talk about it much, but had a very, very scary experience. Tell us about that, Kelly.
Yeah, this was only, we're talking 3-4 weeks ago. JT was locking up practice, closing the fence, and during a storm, it wasn't currently storming, it wasn't too crazy. Lightning strike hit that fence as his hand was on it, trying to lock the fence, and therefore he was electrocuted. I caught up with him earlier this week, and I just said, hey, how you doing? And he goes, fine. Simple as that. He said, you know what? It happened. I felt obviously a little bit off. He went and got checked out. But as far as his mentality was concerned, he said it made me just appreciate life. You really never know what's going to happen. And pretty cliche thing here, but leave it all out on the field, not only when it comes to football, but life as well. And he says it happened and he moved on. So very nonchalant about the whole incident, truly.
That is such a scary situation. I'm shocked that he's able to be so nonchalant about it. I guess that speaks to his toughness.
Right.
Can you believe that story, Andre?
That's unbelievable.
Tell you what, lightning is nothing to play around with. That is for sure. You hear people talk about it all the time. And just glad he came out of that okay.
A lucky one for sure.
Well, he hopes to get some luck here on offense with just over 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Really needs to cut into that deficit with South Warren extending it to a 15-point advantage now.
Yeah, and they just called intentional grounding on Bryan Station, but South Warren declined it, so it's going to take it 2nd and 10. Really think Bryan Station needs to open up the playbook now, start to stretch the secondary, take some shots down the field.
Carpenter tries it, and that's a good throw, just unfortunately dropped. Braden Payne, I believe. With the butterfingers there, normally very reliable. That's you kind of wonder if the sun has anything to do with something like that. I don't know at this point.
At this angle, I don't believe so. I think it's just one of those things with concentration. He took his eyes off the ball. Probably realized he had tons of grass. Wanted to make a move. Unfortunately, just you got to secure the catch first.
You might have heard Dylan Fair tippy-toeing near him too.
Possibly.
He was not too far off.
I think Payne will bounce back.
Well, 3rd and 10 now. This is just a huge, huge play for Bryan Station because there's still enough time on that clock if South Warren's able to get the ball back to add even more points. Carpenter pressured, flings it, gets the completion somehow. Great catch in traffic, but not enough for the first down.
Looks like they're a yard short, so this is a decision time. Does the coach go for it?
How did Jeremiah Turner catch that ball?
Unbelievable.
Andre, in this position, Bryan Station in this deficit, do you go for it?
It's how confident are you in your quarterback and your offensive line. Personally, I feel like if you want to get some momentum and get some points on the board, this might be one of those times you take a chance. I think it's also a great opportunity to try to see if you can get them to jump off sides. So first, call a dummy play, see if you can get a false start. If you can't, maybe reconsider this, take a timeout, and find the best play suitable for this defense. Looks like they're going to call timeout immediately.
They want to think about it some more, which I don't blame them. It's obviously a game that's still within reach if you do have to get rid of the football here. And if you make a huge mistake on this 4th down, it could be the ball game in terms of too far behind. Look at this catch by George. Whew. Carpenter pressured. He's like, well, I'll just toss it over that way, and boom, completion.
It's an ill-advised pass by the quarterback, but you know what? That was a heck of a job by the running back securing it and getting upfield.
Jeremiah George coming through for his quarterback there. I mean, was that number 1?
Yep.
Jeremiah Turner, excuse me on that. Jeremiah Turner.
It looks like the quarterback has stepped to the sideline, so by his response, I'm going to assume they're going to the Wildcat. Haskins going to handle the ball. Let's see what they decide to go with.
So after talking about it, they still will go for it.
They will go for it. So this must have been a package they've been practicing all week for these type of situations.
Here's a question, though. You've got a minute 17 to go in the half. Even if you get the first down, is a minute 17, the way this offense has been playing, enough time to get any points? Might you be better off punting the ball and keeping it a 15-point game? Well, we'll find out here anyway. Good foot speed right there. It's Haskins. Made it happen. You can hear the crowd cheering for Bryan Station.
Andre, you mentioned that this must have been a package that they practiced heavily throughout this week, and I can confirm I was out there and I saw this practice time and time and time again, and Coach Haskins looked at me, he said, do not show any of this until it comes Friday. So that is something that they have been working on a lot leading up to this game, and so I'm sure if you're JT Haskins, you are thrilled with the amount of time and just practice you've put in that play that it paid off and you got the first down.
Yeah, no doubt.
Carpenter pumping, rolling right, pointing downfield, trying to get somebody to break free. Lofts it up. And a one-handed catch attempt. But it falls to the turf. It was Turner again.
You know, the one thing I'm noticing with a lot of these concepts for Bryan Station, there's not a lot of spacing with the receivers, meaning a lot of these routes appear to be running right into the coverage. So I don't know if it's more of a situation where the play calling isn't just working at the moment, or if it's the quarterback's not necessarily seeing the field very well, but doesn't seem to be a lot of options for the offense to get the ball moving.
2nd and 10, a minute even on the clock now. Carpenter looks a little frustrated as he walks over to the sideline. Delay of game on Bryan Station. Now you know why he was frustrated.
Yeah, that's inexcusable. You're in a 2-minute offense. You can't have delay of games. You got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get moving.
Second and 15 now. Carpenter, left side. Incomplete pass, but there's a reason for that. South Warren with flag for pass interference.
It's becoming abundantly clear right now. The quarterback and the receivers are not on the same page. You can tell the quarterback's expecting him to run a hitch, some sort of stop. The receiver's running a slant. Tons of confusion, miscommunication. Hopefully they're able to get back on the same page in the second half. But right now, the team is very discombobulated.
I'd say that's a good call. So 1st and 10 by way of the penalty. 55 seconds left. Carpenter looks left, then throws right, but it's way too high. In fact, oh my goodness, it went off the defender and back to the original target.
I would say let the clock run out. I mean, you're taking a lot of risks, and it wouldn't surprise me if South Warren calls timeout.
We need to see a replay on this one. I mean, it was such a high throw that the defender wasn't even ready for it. It went off his helmet, I believe. Doink. It did.
Lucky that wasn't a pick six.
Great awareness, though, by Braden Payne to make the catch after that. We'll see if they do what you said, Andre. Just hand it off. Let's get to the locker room. It's Turner again. He's going backwards. All right, the clock has hit 0. We've reached halftime here at Lexington Christian Academy. South Warren leading Bryan Station 18-3. And we'll have much more of our Fox 56 home team showcase after this.
You're watching the Fox 56 eCampus.com home team showcase. This is the Fox 56 eCampus.com home team showcase.
Home team showcase joined by South Warren head coach Brandon Smith. Coach Smith, first half live pop in. What'd you like from your team out there?
I mean, well, we've been able to put some drives together. None of them been pretty, but that's expected the first game.
Okay, that first touchdown was scored by Coach Helton's kid. Was that something you and Coach Tyson talked about a little bit, or is that just something that came to your mind?
No, we've been running that play for a while, and we pulled it out, and they executed it really well.
All right, what do you want to see in the second half from your team?
we got to execute better. You know, we've got a lot of penalties. We're doing a lot of things to ourselves, and we got to clean it up.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck in the second half.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Connor, thank you so much for that report. Now, South Warren went from being underdogs to now being the top dogs. Coach was saying heading into this week, it's refreshing for them to have their target on their back. Do you think in this first 2 quarters of play that they have earned that right to say, we are top dogs?
Yeah, I thought they looked really efficient offensively, and defensively they were able to establish the line of scrimmage. I'd love to see what they're going to do in the second half, but they've done so many different variations offensively that it's making really challenging for Bryan Station to stop them on the defense side. So we'll see what the second half looks like.
And you mentioned who's jumping off on the stat sheet, which surprised you.
Well, actually, it didn't surprise me. He made so many great plays in that first half. Justin Capps, 6 catches, 110 yards, along of my eyes will work for me, along of 31. It was on that trick play on the first drive. So good to see him doing well. South Warren has a lot of weapons. Cam Page does a great job of orchestrating all those guys, and looked pretty good in the first half. Obviously, Bryan Station has some work to do. JT Haskins talking to the guys in the locker room right now, trying to iron out some kinks. Maybe they can make a comeback in the second half.
Yeah, you mentioned just how many key players they have, just speaks to their depth. Now, don't go anywhere. We're going to look at Bryan Station's side of the ball coming up. But for now, we're going to send it down to the sideline for Peyton, who joins us with more on their cheerleaders. Peyton.
Hey guys, yeah, we're down here on the field. A lot of fun with the Bryan Station cheer squad. They're going to have a performance for us coming up in just a little bit, but I'm here with 2 of their seniors, Corinna and Bree. So excited to have, say it one more time. I know I said it wrong. Kenora. I was close. Okay, Kenora and Bree are here with us. They are both seniors with us. And you know what? This is your last season, right? You guys are excited for that, and there's a lot to look forward to. It's the first high school football game of the season. So tell us a little bit about that, what you guys have been gearing up for all summer long and as we go into this first week of high school football.
Okay, well, we're really excited for football season. We've been really preparing at our practices and stuff all summer. We've been getting ready for our competition season and really reviewing on game day material so we can look the best out here.
There you go. And I mentioned it's your all senior year, so this has to be a special season for you, right, Bree?
Yes, it sure is. I just feel like this year is since it's our last year, it's really big to us, and it means a lot since we've been on the team for 4 years. And we really want to make history, and get our name really out there for the season. So. And
you guys aren't just cheering on the sidelines. You guys are also in competitions. You have your first one coming up a little bit later this fall in November, but there's a lot of prep that goes into that. Not only are you practicing for sideline cheers and also to be out here on the field at halftime, but you're practicing for those competitions. You want to bring home a trophy, right?
Yes. We need to bring back our 5th regional competition trophy. So.
Now, are you guys one of the cheer squads that ever gets to go to Disney or on any of those big trips?
We do all the time.
So tell us about that. That has to be a lot of fun, right?
It was really fun. It really was. So last year we just went for the intermediate one.
Yes,
and that was our first time being in the intermediate division. Then the year before that, we went again, and we were in the regular division. But it was really fun. It was so surreal.
And you guys have a big squad, like 46, 47 girls, right?
Yes,
okay.
we do.
Well, let's put it to the test, okay? You guys go ahead and get set. They're going to do a quick performance here for us and get the crowd pepped up on this first week of high school football. It's good to have it back, right? All right, ladies, take it away.
Y-E-L-L, everybody yell, go! Big green! Y-E-L-L, everybody yell, go! Big green! Y-E-L-L, everybody yell, go! Big green! Y-E-L-L, everybody yell, go! Big green!
All right, if that doesn't get you hyped up on a Friday night, I don't know what will. Ladies, thank you so much, guys. We'll send it back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Peyton, try not to have too much fun down there. Thank you so much. Now, of course, before we headed down to Peyton, we talked about South Warren's side of the ball. Now we're going to look at Bryan Station. Andre, as we were headed into halftime, you said you were a bit disappointed. That first quarter, they looked like they could hang in there on defense and offense. They were looking pretty strong. Where do you think that things kind of fell off?
Yeah, I think just a bunch of mental errors. Right now, they need to play faster. They need to eliminate the penalties. And then they also need to get off the ball on the defensive side. And right now, they're just allowing South Warren to establish a line of scrimmage, to sustain those drives. And obviously, it's resulting in scores and a differentiate of the scoreboard right now. So I think as long as they continue to try to play better in the second half and sort of polish and clean up some of those mental errors, I think they may have a shot of at least coming back and making this again a contest.
Yeah. You being a quarterback, how would you rate C.J. Carpenter's first half performance?
Good. It's one of those things where he's just going to have to stay mentally sharp and just, stick with the package, and, we'll see where he goes from there.
Kind of building off of that, I know you mentioned you wanted to see Carpenter air it out a little bit more. They were handing it off and keeping the run game just a little bit too much. Towards the end, they started airing it out more, but he just seemed frazzled. Again, as a quarterback, how do you kind of regroup, head into halftime? What is your mission to come out and kind of wipe the first half clean and head into the second half with a new mentality?
Yeah, I think he's going to have to take each play by play. The first thing they need to do is get some momentum. They need to see some catches, so maybe some screens, short passes, anything so he can start to gain some confidence. And then from there, start to stretch the secondary. Right now, they're not doing a great job of throwing intermediate routes. Everything is pretty basic. And on top of that, they're not showing variations. So it's pretty predictable about what type of passing concepts they're going to. And then on top of that, when they do anything vertical, they're not connecting. So it's really putting a lot of strain on the front five, because they're not able to establish the line of scrimmage and run plays because now the secondary's stepping up.
And don't forget, we have a whole nother game after this. We have one more half between Bryan Station and South Warren, and then the host school, Lexington Christian Academy, getting set to take on a fun one.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you have a dog in the fight on that one, or what?
I'm going for North Harding, but we'll see. Last year it didn't turn out so well, so I'm trying to be optimistic.
I did you a favor, by the way. I'm just going to say this. I wanted to get Andre Woodson's high school graduation photo this week. I worked on it, but I probably didn't work on it as hard as I should have. It would have been a great little moment here.
I'm so thankful you didn't.
You told me you had a lot of frizzy hair back then.
My hair was pretty long. It was, indeed. But, yeah, thankful you didn't pull that off.
I'm curious, how tall were you when you were in high school? How much further did you grow after when you went to the collegiate level and then, of course, as we all know, ended up at UK?
No, I was 6'5" at high school.
Okay.
I hit my growth spurt probably middle school. I was about 6'1" then, 8th grade year, and then I just continued to grow. And then by the time I got to college, I stopped growing.
Okay.
But the only difference was I put on weight over the time, and obviously a lot of that has to do with the development package, with the weight room and et cetera. But no, it was a great experience. I had a chance to compete at the Elite 11. Then I got to travel across the world, and then obviously was recruited by tons of schools. I had like 40 scholarships, but ultimately ended at Kentucky, and I felt like that was home.
You played defensive line too, didn't you?
My senior year, I did. I played defensive line, which is pretty bizarre.
That blows my mind, yeah. He was the fridge before the fridge. Oh, no, actually, he was probably after the fridge. That's great. All right, well.
All-around athlete.
I can't wait to see you call North Hardin here in the second game tonight. It's going to be good.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up around 8:30, of course, pending the end time of this game. But don't go anywhere. We have the third and fourth quarter coming up shortly, where Bryan Station is going to try and make its comeback against South Warren. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team Showcase. This is the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team Showcase.
We're back live at Lexington Christian Academy. During the commercial break, Kelly had a growth spurt.
I was going to say, Andre was talking about how he had his growth spurt in middle school, high school, all the way through college, which I never had. So I just wanted to get in on the party and popped up about 6 inches just to join you guys up here, see how the weather was. But we're just about a minute 30 before we enter the second half, before we send things down to Jordan Adams. Just final takeaways before we head into the third and fourth quarter.
Clean it up.
Yeah.
Bryan Station has to clean it up. I imagine that's probably what we're going to hear from JT Haskins when we join Jordan.
No, I fully agree. I think they need to clean up. They need to play faster and minimize penalties.
Now, in your opinion, what do you think both of these coaches' messages were to their individual teams headed into the second half?
Yeah, I think South Warren's probably looking at the scoreboard saying, hey, it's 0-0. Let's start with a clean slate. Let's try to reestablish ourselves. And then I think for Bryan Station, they're saying, hey, we got to pick up the momentum, get some energy, and reestablish ourselves.
What he said.
All right. Well, we're going to check in with Jordan Adams and see what JT Haskins had to say to his team during the half. Jordan.
Hey, guys, I'm here with Coach Haskins. Coach, down a couple scores heading into the break. What'd you tell your guys heading into the second half?
Simple football. We're going to start out on defense. We just need to go down, get a stop. We're down 15. Go down, get a stop, and then our offense and we're back in this ball game.
Your run defense has been amazing so far this game, but getting gashed a little bit in the pass game. How are you guys change that up and make sure that you shore up your pass defense?
I think the playbook was wide open. I think I'm going to just simple it down with the play calling and just keep simple coverages. As you said, right now they're 18 for 45 with the rushing, so I know our run defense is working very well. So just need to tighten up the secondary and try to come out with the victory here.
All right, Coach, I appreciate you spending some time with us, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
No problem. Guys.
All right, Jordan, thanks so much. You see the defenders getting in some stretching, some calisthenics before the second half begins. That'll begin in about 2.5 minutes or so. Again, the score 18-3, South Warren.
That time to kind of regroup and get out there, or are you wanting to get out there and stop this momentum that South Warren is riding on headed into the second half?
Yeah, I think Bryan Station really needs to reestablish themselves. Hopefully they had a chance to regroup. Yeah, they thought about the game plan, how or at least minimize how much time they're going to be on that field, because they were predominantly on the field the entire first half.
I want to give a shout out. He's in the lift cameras position, just behind the end zone. He's getting those shots of the defenders right up, and we have just a great production crew all around for this game. I want to thank our sponsor for this as well. Tell me again, Taylor. Art's Rental. Thank you, Art. Alex Morgan, again, doing a great job. We have Noah Lockard. We have Lanny down on the field as well. Catherine. Taryn.
We got the whole crew helping out today. We could not do it without just us. I mean, I know we're the face and the voices, but we have so many people behind the scenes that get this thing rolling, from within the station to, of course, all the sponsors we've talked about outside of the station. Truly, this is something that I don't know if people realize how much work goes into it, not even just the day of, but leading up to. And truly, we are grateful for every single person's hand and help with setting this all up. We couldn't do it without you. And just what a great way to kick off any season, especially this upcoming 2026 season with so many talented teams and talented players.
Jacob Davis up top, getting that shot you see right there of the defender's sideline. Normally Matt Hall would be up in that position. He is a 30-plus year employee of Fox 56, but he has his own high school football responsibilities with Estill County, and they happen to have a home game tonight, so otherwise occupied, but we miss Matt Hall here on the broadcast as well. Hopefully he'll be back next season if the schedule allows it. So some last-minute instructions for Bryan Station and the Spartans from South Warren. Got 24 minutes to turn this around if you're Bryan Station, and just 3 points on the scoreboard at the half. Has to be pretty disappointing for JT Haskins. I know when we talked to him leading up to this game, he was expecting a little bit better performance than what he's gotten so far from his team.
Yeah, I will say, though, that interview that he caught with Jordan headed into the second half, his spirits seemed pretty high. He seemed pretty positive. He still had a pep in his step within his voice. So judging off of that, hey, maybe it could have been coach talk, but if we're basing things off of that, I think this Bryan Station is still feeling optimistic that maybe they can turn things around, and maybe we could see just that.
Well, we're about to find out. The second half is underway. The Spartans turning that one into Keystone Cops. Finally corral the ball. That's Isaiah Bridges, and he's starting to make something out of nothing over the right side. Turns a disastrous situation into something pretty positive. First and 10 at the 21.
So yeah, you got a 3-by-1 right here. It's a great job by the quarterback. He recognizes the spacing with the receiver. He sits down and finds a hole and puts it right on him. That's what you want to see out of South Warren. I mean, it's a great first play, start third quarter for Bryan Station now. They got to get more penetration on the quarterback pressure, force him to make bad decisions or get the ball out of his hands.
Trips wide receivers on the near side, but he goes to the opposite side. Page flinging it to the far sideline. Not a bad pickup, gets a first down.
The one thing I do appreciate about Bryan Station right now, they are working laterally, so it doesn't matter what side of the ball or field the ball is going towards. They are staying aggressive, trying to attack it, be physical. It's great to see, but you can tell at some point this is going to start to wear on them if they can't get off the field.
And the Spartans offense at this point would love a long, sustained drive, eat up a bunch of that clock here in the third quarter, and put on some extra points. It could be a tough development to overcome if you're Bryan Station, but we'll see. A long time left.
Yep, and right now they're already averaging about 7 yards. That's not good for Bryan Station.
2nd and 2 from the 41. Page hands it off to Boards. Late flag thrown in.
Face mask, it looks like. We got one hopping off of the field here. I don't know if we got an injury. Number 4.
Samarian Williams. Oh boy, yeah, he is really hobbling. Gets quickly over to the trainer's table.
The defensive back for the Defenders. He looks to be in a lot of pain, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, they're working on his leg.
He might be cramping. Hopefully it's not too serious.
1st and 10. Another running play up the middle. Not much doing.
Great job by Bryan Station's defense.
Bolton Lions.
Oh boy.
Another cramp.
I mean, it's that first game of the season, right? I mean,
Yep.
We got to wonder maybe if that's what it's contributing to, because I do agree with you. I see it looks like Williams is up and off of the table, so I don't believe he was injured. I'm going to believe that that was going to be a cramp of some sort. And I want to say, I mean, again, it looks like we're getting stretched out again. This is going to be another cramp. That maybe this is just the first game of the season. It is still hot. These guys probably aren't used to playing this intensely during this kind of heat, so it just all comes down to hydration, I would guess.
Yeah, Williams guzzling some Gatorade. Good to see. He looks like he's okay. He's back on his feet and working his way back toward the turf. Cramps are no joke. Every once in a while I've had one, and boy, they are so painful.
Charlie horses in the middle of the night. Boy, I can't even handle those. Never mind imagine playing a full game of football, man. Oh man.
Exactly. Couple of minutes gone here in the third quarter.
It's interesting right here. So South Warren is in another conduced 2-by-2 formation. Just a different wrinkle, even though it's an inside zone. We just continue to show various formations just to keep Bryan Station offset.
Speaking of South Warren's offense,
just a year ago they ran a 2-quarterback system. Now they're running a 1-quarterback system in Camden Page. Andre, for you, how do you feel that this better suits this program this year with the personnel that they have on their roster? Why do you think that was a good move?
Well, I think repetition's key. The more experience and exposure he can get, the more he's going to be prepared down the road. And right now he's been really efficient with his decision-making, ball placement, getting the guys the ball in the space. And I think over the course of the season, as he continues to get more experience, it's going to be super important to see how long they can go, especially if they get a deep run. And if they get to the state championship, he'll be well polished to give them an excellent game. So personally, I think that's the best way to go about it, because when you split the reps, obviously you're giving equal opportunity, but you're splitting that time. Right now it's solely on him, and he's obviously doing a great job of making the best decisions, and they're moving the chains.
Caps with that last catch, adding to his stats tonight. 1st and 10 at the 33. Page looking deep toward the end zone, has a wide receiver open. It's
Touchdown.
Caps again, but it's a
dropped
little far and dropped on top of that.
And right there is a perfect example of what Coach Smith was talking about earlier about his arm strength and the decision-making. That's great patience in the pocket. He saw downfield. He throws it right on the post. It's a dime. You would hope the receiver would pull that one in, but nevertheless, excellent decision, excellent play concept. They ran it flawlessly, just got to execute. But I'm really liking what I see out of the quarterback right now.
All right. Well, now we are actually going to set things down to the sideline and check in with Connor, who comes with us with an injury report over from South Warren's sideline. Connor.
But now a blow to a bit of their depth. Back to you guys.
Unfortunately, not another cramp situation there.
Yeah, that one seems like it might be, as Connor said, the rest of the game. One can just hope that it's not going to be the rest of the season. Kabawa, a running back for South Warren. So, an area that luckily South Warren is pretty good at and has some depth at this point in time. But like we said, just never a good sign. You never like to see a guy go down this early in the season.
It's the luxury of having a constant recycle of talent at a particular position. You just keep rotating them. And it's almost like the next man's up. So it's good to know that they have the depth and the personnel to continue to tap into, but it's unfortunate for that young man. Hopefully he's fine, and it's just a mild sprain.
A lot of work to do on 3rd down here after the look for Caps. Page and Caps. Page over the middle, a little high, and incomplete.
And that's a great job. I don't know if we can see a replay on this one, but it's a 3-by-1, basically a drive concept. So your slot receiver to the 3-by-1 side to the field, he's basically just running a shallow, and then your tight end is running a 10-yard in route. And what's amazing is if you can see Haskins on the boundary side, he's actually watching the quarterback, finds the number 3, and if the quarterback throws it on time, actually puts it on that tight end, he's going to intercept that. He's going to cut right through it, or he's going to blow that guy up. So amazing job by Haskins really identifying that play and reacting.
4th and 12. South Warren going for it. Page gets it to Caps. Another catch for him, but well short of the 1st down.
Well, there you go, Bryan Station. It's about time, right?
Check that. That was Tucker Sears. Does South Warren have a punter?
I don't know, but what I love to see is Bryan Station's been fighting all game to get out the field on 4th down, and they were finally able to make a massive stop. Now let's see if the offense can put something together, generate some points, and then gain some momentum, and now they're back in the game. So let's see what happens next, but kudos to Bryan Station for making a stop.
Good, nice hard tackle, too. We'll see what kind of difference that makes, possibly.
It looks like we got to change at quarterback.
Jordan Haskins, it's that play they ran in the first half, maybe. Direct snap. He then hands it off. Jeremiah George, I believe.
So it'll be interesting to see now, have they completely went away from the passing game? Do they not rely on it? Do they not think they're effective doing it? Or are they going to just stick solely on the Wildcat formation?
May just be a change of pace where they're trying to see if maybe it pays off more.
Yep.
We've got back-to-back plays now that they're going with that formation. Haskins, hands off again. Left side, not much doing. Oh, second effort, though. So we go from the snap to Jordan Haskins down to Jordan Adams.
Hey guys, yeah, Jordan Haskins in at quarterback now. We saw a little bit of that last season towards the tail half of the season. Obviously, he's a terrific athlete. You can see him at wide receiver, mostly at safety, and you'll see him playing at Louisville next year. But he can do a little bit of things on his legs compared to Colston Carpenter. But I want to talk about Jeremiah Turner. The running back came in from Frederick Douglass during the offseason. He's wearing number 1, 5'10", 187. He obviously broke out that great run in the first quarter. Unfortunately, it only resulted in 3 points if you're a Defenders fan. But it'd be interesting to see how they get the running game involved down a couple of scores here in the second half. You'll probably have to throw it, but Turner's one of their better players on offense, so they'll also have to give the ball to him. So interesting to see how the offense will balance that throughout the rest of the game. Guys?
All right.
Funny you mentioned
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of Jeremiah Turner, he is actually the man down on the field as we speak. So a big factor for them, but again, just looking like another cramp at this point. I also have to say, Turner, a transfer in out of Douglas. Again, I spoke with JT Haskins earlier in the week, and he had nothing but good things to say about this guy. He said he really feels that he is going to be such a contributing factor this season. Also, another note with what this young man is dealing off of the field. Actually, his mother is sick, so this guy shows up every single day, is performing the way he is while he's battling his own things at home. This man is a heck of a young man, both on and off of the field. Truly a guy who's just mentally strong.
No doubt his mother's relieved to see him get up off the turf and walk off the field there.
Yeah, it's interesting that the offense now has completely went away from any sort of passing game. They're going to stick to the Wildcat formation. That just tells me South Warren is going to make those massive adjustments defensively. They're going to bring a secondary into the box, overcrowd it, stack it, force him to pass the ball. I hope they have some other, potential possibilities of how to throw and stretch the field, but right now it's looking like a one-sided game.
Marion Williams, poor guy, looks like he's bothered by the same thing that got him a short time ago in this quarter, although he's being helped off a little this time by his teammates.
This is going to be Raymond Young
Raymond Young.
He's more so really limping off, but again, it could just be those cramps. But a part of me also, is this buying time a little bit for Bryan Station? Of course, you're not hoping that these guys cramp up or sustain injuries, but we've seen their defense get a majority amount of time out there on the field. At least it gives them a break from the heat and playing time out there, and it's kind of the silver lining of it all, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. A rare punt this evening for Bryan Station. Flag on the play. They're picking it up, though.
JT Haskins having some words with the ref on that one.
I'd love to see that replay.
Bryan Station fans a little frustrated, understandably so.
Yep.
They've had that sun staring them in the face for this entire game. The team's trailing on the scoreboard, and I'd like a few calls.
Yeah, not much going Bryan Station's way right now, but you know what? They're still in the game. Defensively, they got to continue to hold up. You know, the heat and the turf field are playing an element to all of this with the cramps, but they got to be resilient. They got to continue to fight.
2nd and 8. Page gives up the middle, big hole.
Oh,
fumble though. Ball's loose. Who's going to get it?
Bryan Station says they have it.
And they do.
Well, there's also a flag.
Ethan Fawn coming up with the pigskin.
Let's get South Warren.
Spartans hit the hole nicely. But Peyton Bailey then and the one-hand snare there from Ethan Fawn to corral the football.
See, this is the type of momentum swing that Bryan Station needs right now if they want to get back in the game. They need to put that ball in the air, take a deep shot, take a chance, trick play, anything. We'll see if they decide to take that gamble or if they're going to stick to the Wildcat package and continue to try to run the ball.
Well, looks like Jordan Haskins is taking that position. All sorts of players moving around now. Getting set. Haskins at quarterback.
Oh.
He's going to throw it deep.
There we go. Catch it.
There's There's that play you were talking about, Andre.
Finally took a shot. Excellent pass. Great route by the receiver. Just got to bring it in. Definitely one of those plays he wishes he had back. I'm sorry. Go for it.
No, I mean, even though it fell incomplete, I think it's just nice to finally see Bryan Station take a risk. I mean, would you agree, even if it doesn't work in your favor, yes, it's earlier in the season, yes, you're still trying to go for these wins despite when these games are happening, but you rather work out those kinks now rather than come October, November. So go for those long shots and try new things.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to show that you're a vertical threat to some capacity and show them that you're going to willing to take shots down the field. Otherwise, they're going to continue to compress the box. And hopefully they'll take some more shots within this possession or game. And it was great to see the quarterback air it out and actually get it down the field.
And on the money, too.
All right, well, now we're going to send things back down to Connor, back to that South Warren sideline with another injury update. Connor.
Yeah, guys, the hits just keep on coming for South Warren. I saw Justin Capps, their senior wide receiver, who's had a couple big catches in this game. He was getting his left ankle heavily taped. He was able to walk. He did have a considerable limp going out for that last offensive possession for South Warren. And then the running back, Jameer Boards, he was cramping. He was getting stretched out, drinking a lot of Gatorade, so just something to keep an eye on, guys.
All right, well, hopefully both of those are just cramps as well, because Capps and Boards, arguably their top two producers, not only in this game, but likely to have a contribution throughout the entire season. And, of course, that much anticipated postseason and hopefully a state title this year when they were that close last year. Possibly two guys who could be the difference makers come 2026 state title championship game.
Another Haskins incompletion. Sets up 4th and 8. And the defenders appear to be in punting formation. Nice looking punt, high, deep, fielded at the 9. And then here comes the return. Riley Oliver.
All right, and while we are changing possessions here, quick shout out for eCampus, one of our major sponsors here this evening. We caught up with their CEO, Matt, during the pregame, and he explained what eCampus is. They just make the lives of students easier by offering used textbooks ahead of their school year. Anything, any subject, they likely have it. So make sure to check out eCampus. Also, a little bit of a fun fact. Again, this game just one of two that we have coming up. Their CEO, Matt, has a son playing on LCA. So he's going to be here not only supporting this as a sponsor, but as dad and a LCA fan as well.
Watch out for number 57 in that second game of our doubleheader. That'll be Matt Montgomery. Flag on the play after the completion to Jameer Boards. Boards a little gimpy as he makes his way back to the huddle.
Yeah, I think we're starting to notice multiple players experiencing cramps. Boards is just probably the latest one, but all of them seem to be grabbing their calves and their hamstrings, seeking to be replenished with more water or Gatorade. It'll be fascinating as this game continues to progress, how that's going to affect some of the players on the field who've been playing pretty much the entire duration of this game so far.
And we may see it less in the 8:30 game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the sun will be down.
Yep.
Is that something, Andre, from your experience that you felt you experienced personally, more so because of the heat or more so the shock of getting back into the swing of things in games every single Friday night?
It's a combination, but more so I think you notice cramps on turf fields versus grass fields, because the turf fields elevation, like the heat index actually increases almost by 10 degrees. So while it's extremely hot in the area, the turf field is significantly more hot, and it really increases the probability of experiencing those cramps. So I think the number one priority right now is just making sure they're hydrated, continue to drink, continue to tell the coaches and the medical staff when they feel like they're starting to experience cramps.
Page over the middle completes that one. Long way to go there. That was 3rd and 20.
Yep.
And another flag comes in.
See if they call it necessary roughness or personal foul on Bryan Station. This will be an interesting call.
Samarian Williams, far sideline for Bryan Station, appears to be down. May have gotten up, though.
Oh, it's against South Warren.
Carrying.
So they call it dead ball foul on South Warren, which should back them up another 15 yards. Or halfway to the end zone.
Now this is Williams. This is Williams getting carried off at this point in time. We referenced him earlier in the quarter, who was under the medical tent getting stretched out due to likely a cramp, but this time getting carried off. I'm not sure if this is going to be yet another cramp or if this is going to be a little bit more serious. Now he is fully getting carried by one big old guy. That is a good teammate right there, to say the least, bringing him under the medical tent. That's something we'll keep an eye out for.
On 3rd and 22, Cam Page had nowhere to go, swallowed up, and stopped.
That's probably one of the first plays we've seen all game where they applied pressure on the quarterback and managed to get a sack. I don't know if there's been a sack any point of this game. Great job by Bryan Station. They're finally going to get off the field. They're actually going to have good field position. See if they put some pressure on the punter here and try to make a block.
Great pressure right there. Pays off. This is really the first drive of the game where South Warren is headed more toward Fayette Mall than the end zone. Have you noticed that?
And I love to see Payne here with open field. I mean, this guy is a dynamic player. If he gets that in his hands.
He had a friendly bounce, but a great tackle.
Great tackle.
Tucker Sears. Wow, that was something else.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if that was horse collar or not. I couldn't tell where his hand placement was when he grabbed Payne, but regardless, really good play.
That had the potential to be something bigger than it turned out to be.
It did. I thought Payne had him.
He had a really friendly bounce, momentum going, but still a very good field position. Bryan Station will start this drive at the South Warren 43-yard line.
Oh, that's definitely horse collar.
Definitely horse collar.
I'm not an expert. I don't know the definition of horse collar, but I feel like that probably is categorized as horse collar. I'm sure there's an expert out there that would dispute that, but
we are in the horse capital of the world.
Looks pretty legit to me.
You know your horse collars. All right, 1st and 10 at the 43. 2:41 to go in the third quarter. Bryan Station, a lot of work to do, but still time to do it. We'll see if this can be a productive drive right here. Jordan Haskins still at quarterback, rolling to his left, has some room to roam, and picks up a first down, just saunters across the, well, maybe a yard short where I see the mark. Jordan Haskins may be a good strategy the rest of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to evaluate if he's going to be an efficient passer, but the one thing he can do extremely well is extend the pocket. They're not going to get as much pressure on him because they know his ability to scramble and get upfield. And then the other thing is the secondary can't necessarily leave the receiver because he does have the ability to pass, which really puts a lot of stress on the DBs. So we'll see how this plays out.
Quick throw into the flat.
And that's accurate.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Haskins, just such an athlete. I mean, who does he look like back there? JT Haskins, his dad. I mean, now he's literally following in his footsteps, not only wearing his dad's former number 3, but playing his dad's former position as well. JT Haskins playing quarterback from 96 to 99, leading this team to a state title appearance. So, I mean, we talked about it earlier in the game, but this number 3 having such a significance in this Haskins family. Of course, Jordan wearing it, as I said, JT Haskins Sr. wearing it, and then his older brother, JT Haskins Jr. wearing it from 2020 to 23. So, just a little fun fact for you. But, yeah, he said, man, everyone always says you look like so much like your dad in that jersey and the way you play. Well, now he's playing his dad's position, so.
Throws that one away, but number 3 is doing everything he can to change the 3 on the scoreboard for Bryan Station. They need points. They need them pretty quickly now with 1:53 to go before the end of the third quarter. 2nd and 10 coming up at the 26-yard line. 25-yard line, make that. And there's a good look at father and son. Getting the play call.
You'd love to see them capitalize on this field position right now and get some points on the board.
Really need a touchdown.
They really do need a touchdown. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to put the ball in the air, or are they going to rely on his legs?
Whistle on the field. Timeout, Bryan Station. It's a shame for Bryan Station because they had the sort of the surprise earlier in the game when Jordan threw the ball deep, and it could have been a touchdown play. It sort of had the element of surprise.
Yep.
South Warren not expecting it, expecting more run. You throw the pass in. It was a really well thrown ball that most likely should have been caught. It's just too bad that it didn't pay dividends.
Yep. Yeah, they weren't able to maximize on it. Perhaps they'll revisit that play at some point in the fourth quarter. Right now, I think you gotta come up with a play that's going to make third down more manageable. So whether that's a screen, it's a quarterback design run, maybe it's some sort of trick play perhaps, though I don't necessarily would advise that one. I think something right now you got to be definite that this is going to work and it's going to get you some positive yards. and then based on where you're positioned, you might be able to call something that's more manageable for third down. But you're absolutely right. They have got to score this series.
Haskins will keep it himself up the middle. Good gain, and pretty much accomplishes what you were saying, Andre. Making third down more manageable now.
So now you got 3rd and 5, and the coach has a decision to make. Either it's, hey, let's get the first down, and if we don't, we go for a field goal, or it's make a safe call, and we're going to go. We got 2 plays to get the first down. So they already, in his mind, had made the decision, we're going for a 4th down. That changes a lot in terms of the play calling. But technically, they broke the huddle with 11 men. That should have been a penalty. The refs let that one go.
Haskins throwing
there
complete.
It is. First down.
And they get the first down. Braden Payne.
Love it.
Now, I think we've seen Jordan. I mean, I would have to see the more times, at least in the air. Where does this leave Carpenter? I mean, I know it's early in the season.
Yep.
You don't count him out yet, but where does this leave this team's confident in their QB1?
They're certainly going to have to reevaluate what makes most sense and how they're more efficient. The other piece is with Jordan playing as the quarterback, it really puts a lot more stress on the defense, and then they're able to utilize him in different capacities. So if he can be efficient passing the ball, or at least, he can be a threat passing the ball, I think that really creates more possibilities for them offensively. And then the more time and experience he gets doing it throughout the season, the more comfortable he's probably going to be able to deliver as well. And then on top of that, he can throw the ball down the field. He's got a nice vertical pass. So I'll be interested to see how that develops. But right now, I think they're more focused on let's get the ball in the end zone, and then from there we'll see what the future looks like. But it's been a good drive for them so far.
1st and 10 at the 14. Fresh set of downs. Haskins still taking the snaps. Throwing it toward the end zone.
Wow.
Little overthrown.
And that pass right there shows his inexperience, right? Like, you got to throw it over the shoulder, somewhat towards the cone. He threw it back shoulder, far outside. Receiver has a difficult time adjusting to that. He lays it anywhere within his proximity. I guarantee the receiver probably comes up with that one. But still, really good decision. He was patient. Hopefully he'll continue to show signs of improvement in that regard.
Better to overthrow than underthrow?
It depends on the situation, but in that circumstance, yeah.
All right, 2nd and 10 in this all-important drive. Haskins takes the snap and goes up the middle for a gain of about 2 or 3.
Haskins is on the keeper, brought down to number 53.
That's the thing, when you're in the gun, you're snapping it back 3 or 4 yards.
Yep.
And if you gain 2 or 3, you're having to gain that back before you gain anything.
And if the defense doesn't respect your ability to throw, again, they're just stacking the box and anticipating you're going to run, and they're trying to basically hit those gaps and meet you there. You can tell based on the alignment right now. I mean, your safeties are sitting at 6-7 yards deep, so they're not anticipating you're going to throw it much.
All right, that is going to wrap up the 3rd quarter, where we enter the 4th and final quarter of this game. Final 12 minutes of regulation, where South Warren is going to be on top of Bryan Station 18-3. We'll be right back with more in the 4th quarter coming up.
You're watching the Fox 56 eCampus.com Home Team Showcase.
Today.
Welcome back, Kelly Harrison alongside Paul Jones and Andre Woodson as we head into this fourth and final quarter where South Warren is going to lead Bryan Station 18-3, and headed into this final 12 minutes of play, we're going to send things down to Jordan Adams, who brings us more on the Defenders' side of the ball.
Hey Kelly, 18-3, South Warren leading the Bryan Station Defenders here in the fourth quarter of the Fox 56 Home Team Showcase. It was just in their huddle, and I expect Jordan Haskins to roll out to the left here, potentially run it in for the end zone. This is the play that they're calling. Here he comes left, looking for somebody, can't find anything, so he's going to run back right. And he looks like he's got a first down and a touchdown. So Bryan Station scores on the play call. A little fake, a little razzle-dazzle from number 3. Now it's going to be 9-18. We'll see if Bryan Station goes for 1 or opts to go for 2. But a great start to the fourth quarter, and this game is back on, folks.
Wow, Jordan Adams on the live call of what Jordan Haskins was going to do before he even did it. Talk about a good sideline reporter on that one. That is going to be the first touchdown of the night for Bryan Station. And just like that, we have a ball game yet again, gentlemen, as Bryan Station is going to trail South Warren 18-9, pending what they do here, possibly adding a point or 2 to close that gap even further.
Andre, that was all about the feet and the legs of Jordan Haskins.
100%. Pure athleticism. He fakes the run, boots to the left, then extends the play back to the right, just scrambles around and makes a play. I love to see it.
Defenders are going to go for 2 to try to get within 7. And it's the handoff.
I'm actually surprised right here that you went for 2.
Stopped well short.
I think in this situation, you take the field goal, you get the single point, it takes it 10-18, and then you score again, which then gives you the confidence to get the 2-point conversion. And right now it's a 2-score game still, so they're gonna have to score and get a field goal, and then still get the 1-point conversion, and then still have to kick a field goal in order to win.
I might have kept the ball in Haskins' hands there too on that 2-point try. He's been pretty effective.
Yeah, hey, hats off to Haskins. I mean, they throw him in there quarterback. He doesn't have much experience doing it. Not only were they doing the Wildcat, they actually had him throw the ball around, and he was pretty efficient. And we'll see if they continue to expound on his package and see what other opportunities that he can potentially do moving forward. But it certainly looks like he's got possibility there.
Now let me ask both of you this. You both were here last year for this game, the same exact matchup where South Warren defeated Bryan Station 56-35, so in a pretty convincing fashion. Now I know we still have a quarter to go, pretty much 11:44 on the clock. South Warren is up in this situation yet again, but only 18-9. So in your opinion, what does that mean? Is South Warren's offense maybe not as potent as we saw, or at least as early in the year, or is this kind of a nod to Bryan Station's defense where maybe they're a little bit better in keeping this offense at bay? Which one do you think it could be more so?
I think it's the latter. I think Bryan Station's done a really good job of being stout, preventing from conversions and scoring, and really being a nuisance for South Warren. I mean, South Warren's done some really impressive stuff so far within this game. They showed various formations and packages and concepts. They've been pretty efficient moving the ball. I think they got tons of weapons. But Bryan State's like right here. They're in the backfield. They're being relentless. They're playing aggressive. They're attacking on defensive end. So last year, I don't think you really saw that because they were worn out. Such a disproportionate score at the beginning of the contest. They got a shot right now, so we'll see.
All right. Well, now we're going to send things down to Connor as we currently have an injury down on the field. We'll get back to you on what number that is from Bryan Station side. But for now, Connor.
Yeah, Kelly, listening to the South Warren sideline, the coaches are imploring their offensive and defensive line to get the push they need, either pushing guys back or pushing guys forward. And then, Andre, you'll like this. The players are really starting to let their voices be heard, especially Isaiah Bridges and Caleb Wilson saying, guys, we can't keep doing stupid stuff. We are better than this, and we can win this game, as they are in a tight fourth quarter game. So we'll see if the players leading the charge can get them the win. Back to you.
All right, Connor, thank you. That was going to be Sean Taylor, a defensive back for Bryan Station, who was down and took some time for an injury. But yet again, it looks like we just have a cramp. As of now, that is something we will definitely keep an eye out for. But Connor mentioned mistakes, and Andre, I think that goes back to the question I just asked you before. It's not that this South Warren offense isn't good or doesn't have depth. I think just right now they are making silly mistakes for a high caliber team as they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are unprecedented mistakes, very uncharacteristic for this particular program. But again, it's the first game of the season, something they can easily clean up. Right now, they just want to come away with a win, and I would imagine they want to get some more points on the board right now to increase the deficit. But, you know, Bryan Station's able to prevent them from converting here and putting him in 4th down and another strain. It'd be interesting to see if they're going to go for it, if they may consider punting.
Huge play here, and the Spartans pick up the first down easily. 1 yard, and then add about another 9 or 10. The last thing Bryan Station can afford at this point is a lengthy drive by South Warren, and that was a huge play, as you said.
And the other thing that South Warren's doing a really good job right now is they're milking the clock. They're taking their time with calling the play in, getting set, and then snapping the ball. And about every single play is close to 30 to 35 seconds taken off the clock. It's really well done.
All right, timeout on the field, taken by South Warren. Want to talk about it. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. We've seen a lot of cramps today. Obviously, first game of the season. It's the month of August. It's hot out. Sun's beaming down. You know, staying hydrated is so important.
And it's one of those things you have to do before game day. It doesn't matter what you do the day of. It doesn't matter what you do come game time. It doesn't matter what you do while you are playing. I'd argue it doesn't even matter what you do the night before. This has to be something that is you are doing ritually and that you are doing often leading up to the day that it comes, not when it's too late. So with that being said, we're going to send things down to the field to our Jordan Adams, who's going to bring us a hydration update. Jordan.
Hey guys, while you guys are up in the booth all nice and cozy with the AC, it is pretty hot down here on the field. Obviously AstroTurf can heat up real quick. The sun is starting to go down now, but you know, second, third quarter is really blazing. We're talking 85 and up degrees. And if you look towards the Bryan Station sideline, you'll see quite a few players getting stretched out and getting some attention from the trainers. They're not seriously injured, so that's good, but a lot of them are dealing with some cramps, hamstrings, calves, things like that.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm actually...
As possible. Obviously, it's always the hottest of the season, and it looks like the defenders certainly are missing some guys right now, and they're only down a few points right now, but without some of their best players, it's certainly going to be an uphill task. But for now, I'm going to toss it back to you guys.
All right, Jordan, if it makes you feel any better, I'm actually a little cold up here. If you have a blanket you could bring me, I'd appreciate it. Another big play for South Warren there. Tick-tock. Tick-tock, although the clock stops at 10:11, but it's another first down for the Spartans, and they are in no rush, as you said, Andre.
Yep.
Clock running again, just under 10 minutes right now.
Yeah, they have some really good concepts with the RPOs. So, again, they're trying to bait the linebackers to come up, flashing with the sort of inside zone, and as soon as he attacks, the backside slot receiver is filling that space, and they're hitting on slants or glances, and they're executing really well in this drive.
There's Summers. Haven't said his name in a while. He gets the call up the middle. Picks up maybe a yard, maybe 2. Clock now at 9:27. And after failing on the 2-point conversion, it's now a 9-point game instead of a 7-point game. So Bryan Station needs a couple of possessions here to try to pull this thing off, and the clock is not working in its favor. 2nd and 8 from the 15. Page gives to Boards. Boards cuts left, then right, then up the middle, but not much. We're probably going to see a lot more running here.
Yeah.
Why put the ball in the air and have the clock stop? Although it is 3rd and 6. But you could have 2 running plays, pick up 3 yards each, and run another minute and a half off the clock.
Yeah,
So
I think they're going to try to drive as much time out that clock as they possibly can.
Third and 6. Going to the air this time, though. Wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. Isaiah Bridges, it appears. And that is trouble. Yes, Bridges indeed.
Yeah, it looks like a great little concept here. They're basically running sort of a post and then a rail. And he comes wide open right there. You hope the quarterback leads him a little bit more down the field because that could have been intercepted, but regardless, good concept, good pass. Love the dance.
That dance was not a good concept. You know, he came out of the backfield though, and nobody took him. He kind of was free to roam there. So, well, that's a tough blow for Bryan Station now, down 16 and with only 8 minutes and some change left.
And I mean, right there, it just demonstrates how potent this offense is for South Warren. I mean, they look a little stagnant. They're inconsistent, sort of in the third quarter. They're not able to establish the line of scrimmage. And then just like that, it's back up to 25-9 with a very solid drive all around. So this team has all the intangibles to be really good this year.
Yeah, they were able to pull it back together and not let those mistakes that Connor was talking about, saying that South Warren was discussing on the sideline, that didn't frazzle them. They were able to regroup and come out with a successful drive, finding the end zone. And I think that just goes to say to what their motto is this season, which is anchor the chain. And Coach broke that down earlier in the week. He said the chain is their team, and the anchors are their alphas, which is going to be their leaders. And I can imagine that drive right there was something that we saw because of their leaders telling the guys, hey, let's get this back together. Let's just take it one play at a time. Think about what's coming up next, not what happened, and kind of just have a clean slate mentality.
At this point, if you're JT Haskins, what are you saying to those guys?
I think you're telling them continue to play each play as if the score is 0-0. You got to focus on long term, what the rest of the season looks like. You have a new quarterback that's in place. You know what? Open the playbook. See what he can do. Give him an opportunity to showcase his skills. I think right now is a great opportunity to reevaluate who you're going to play for the rest of the season.
We see C.J. Carpenter down on the sideline with his helmet off. Definitely not an injury of any sort. He's standing there. Looks to be fine. Still very involved in the game, which is good to see. Mentally.
And that's tough. It's tough for a quarterback that gets pulled out the game before halftime or during halftime or right after halftime. And, to watch the backup quarterback have success. So how do they mentally stay engaged in the outcome or what's happening? And he's doing a really good, the starting quarterback's doing a really good job. Carpenter's doing a really good job of staying involved with his teammates, interacting with them, being positive on the sideline. You never know when it's your opportunity to go back out there.
Under 7 minutes to go now. 3rd and 11 coming up for the Defenders.
I mean, at this point, you have nothing to lose. So I would recommend airing it out. Absolutely. Throw some vertical packages in there. Test the quarterback's ability to read the field downfield.
3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Haskins pressured, gets it out.
See?
Ooh.
Nice spin move.
You never know what's going to happen. And I love the physicality right there with number 1. I mean, the game perhaps is over, but he's attacking the play as if this is a 0-0 game. That's the mindset. That's the way you should approach the game every single time. And now they're going to go into a no-huddle, fast-tempo offense.
I mean, this is the time to do it. Even if the play results in a loss or an incomplete pass, at least test these guys mentally and make them stronger within their head and their own worst enemy for the season to come. Even for that example right there, I mean, that's something that everyone can learn from.
Absolutely.
The entire coaching staff for Bryan Station wanted a pass interference on that play and probably deserved it, but didn't get the call.
It's a blatant pass interference on the defense. And unfortunately, you know, the ref may not have visibility. It's like there's only 5 referees out there. I don't know if that's standard, but it's difficult for those guys to see the entire duration of the field.
Certainly easier for us up in the press box.
That's right.
No doubt. 2nd and 10 now, 6:07 to go. Haskins trying to signal his guy to go deep, then throws it down there and overthrown.
And see, this is something that Haskins not familiar with, and he'll learn over time, especially if they continue to give him reps at the quarterback position. But the first slot, the run they ran like the 5-yard out route, he technically had him. He should have threw it right on him and gave him a chance to catch the ball, get 5 yards, or get up the field. Because he's not comfortable making that pass, he's double guessing himself and thinking that window isn't open when it is, and therefore he's trying to force it downfield for something deeper. That just takes time and experience. He's been thrown into the position, so he's not going to be fully suited to make the right decisions, not yet. But that's why I'm glad to see them throwing the ball right now. Just give him a chance. Right here, just run.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flag comes in late. Part of Haskins, too, he probably has the, you know, we're down by 16. We need a big play. Let's go for it, instead of nickel and diming with the check down or the short throw at this point.
Yep.
Maybe earlier in the game he maybe was more inclined to do that. Did we see what the flag was?
Yeah, he threw it past the line of scrimmage, but the South Warren declined the penalty. Oh, no. I guess they did accept legal pass.
I just ran hard on that first time I hit the wall, you know.
That's right, legal passes. A loss of down as well.
Ooh. Oops. Looked like the punter slipped as he was getting that kick off, and
I'd imagine South Warren's probably going to put the backup quarterback or a second string unit in at this point. I don't think they want to take any risks of getting anyone injured on the first team. But you never know, they may. Just get some more reps.
Yep, here comes Cam Page again.
All right, now South Warren heads out to the field, and as we mentioned, Camden Page heading back out at that quarterback position as we're just about wrapping up this game. 5:47 to go in this matchup. He has been somebody who has stood out quite well. This team, obviously, Massive sack there, though, and tackle for loss. Who do we have on that play?
Someone rather large. Hard to see his number.
40.
40.
Number 40 for Bryan Station, making a play. Fittingly, his last name is Smothers.
Well.
Deshaun Smothers.
Yeah, I would say Paige indeed got smothered on that one, but that's probably the first time that we have seen Paige go down so far in this entire game.
Kelly with the SI jinx there.
And if Paige had just a split second more time, he would have seen that slot screaming down the sideline wide open. I believe that's who he was going to.
All right, well, going back to Paige before we saw him go down there just briefly. Of course, he's back on his feet because he is a talented player. He helped lead this team, of course, to the state championship last year, and we've seen him continue to do things this game that look promising from under center. Paige, officially our player of the game for tonight and to open up this season. Guys, what positives have you seen out of him? Of course, we saw him do really good things last year as well, but in your opinion, what are you seeing him do even better headed into 2026?
Yeah, I love to see the confidence. You can see he's more visible. He has a command of the offense. He's orchestrating the system. He's distributing the football. He's making really good, sound decisions. He's super efficient with the ball placement. I just love the development overall. I mean, from this year to last year, I mean, you can see he's elevated his game. So I think he's certainly going to give them a chance to compete this year, and they're going to be a contender for sure.
Certainly knows who to get the ball to. He's got a lot of weapons and utilizes them, which is what you want your quarterback to do. And he's done a pretty nice job of it tonight. They had one drive early in the third quarter where it kind of went backwards, but for the most part, they've gone forward and had a lot of productivity, 25 points on the board.
Yeah, we talked about how Paige led this team to a state title game appearance. Just looking back again, what he did last year, he threw for over 2,300 yards, threw for 24 touchdown passes. Now, they did come up short in that title game. They came up short to a team who went for the three-peat. So they lost to Trinity in that final game of the season, but that is not a loss to be ashamed of. What do they have to do this season to get over that hump? They were just that close. What do they have to do to be the one walking home with hardware this season?
Well, I think they need to continue to play complementary ball. Make play or call plays that are based on the personnel, and they've done a phenomenal job tonight. I mean, they've been super creative. They've again shown various formations and concepts, and I thought they've really put a lot of stress on the defense. And then on the other side of the football, they got to continue to be tenacious, relentless. I mean, they said this is going to be the heart and soul of the team is on the defensive side, and I mean they held Bryan Station only 9 yards. I would love to see them continue to sustain that because it's complementary ball, but on both sides, they've done a really good job establishing themselves and creating an identity tonight, and so hopefully they'll continue to grow on that.
And my answer would be they need to beat Louisville Trinity.
Hard to do. Three-peat champs. I mean, they are no joke, but if anyone's going to give them a run for their money, shoot, why not this South Warren team?
Yeah. Boards, nice spin move, gets the first down.
That's another guy that's been so impressive tonight. And they're finding so many different ways to get him the ball in space. He's a guy that has so much dynamic athleticism.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting on the Bryan Station sideline. C.J. Carpenter's doing a lot of warming up. I think he's going to get his chance if they get the ball back to get back in this game, it looks like, anyway.
If you're Haskins and Carpenter gets to go back in, what are you looking for from Carpenter on those last few opportunities?
Just some positive plays, I think, right?
Absolutely, yep. Positive plays, stay mentally sharp, show that you can continue to lead the team. And there's no telling what the next week's going to look like. This was a major test And yeah, it's gonna be tough to overcome, but that's football, that's life, and I think he'll be resilient. He'll bounce back, but right now they want to see that out of him if he does get a chance to get back on the field.
And
all right, well, with 2:29 left in this game, South Warren leading Bryan Station 25-9. We're going to send things down to Peyton, who joins us with the fan. Peyton.
Hey guys, we made it over here with
is
some of the
sponsored
students.
by Asbury University.
Hey guys, we made it over here with some of the students with Bryan Station. I have Janiyah here with me.
Hello.
Janiyah, what's going on? You know what? It's the first week of high school football season. It's a lot of fun. I know this is just game one, but you guys said at a lot of your home games, you guys got a great student section, and you made some memories as a student there, right?
Yes, we did like the chants and all the lovely music and just a lot of people.
So what is your favorite high school or your theme for the student section at your all school?
Probably the white lies.
What is that? Is that a whiteout?
You put you wear a white shirt, you can put a lie on the shirt.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Any other favorites? I always said my favorite was Hawaiian theme when I was in high school. You guys do any of them like that?
Yes, we do that. We do blackouts. We do pink, all that.
All right, who's your brother here behind you?
Oh, this is my brother, Josiah.
Josiah, you're being a little shy on me now. Are you having fun at the game tonight?
Yes. So I just hopefully they can do better tomorrow. maybe on another game day they could do better.
What do you think they need to work on? Can you offer some expertise? Maybe our guys in the booth could hear something from you.
They could add maybe they need more players, or they need to get better at what they're doing.
Okay, that's the straight up insight from Josiah here on the sideline, guys. Maybe we need to send him up to the booth with you all. But you know what? You guys having a lot of fun out here?
Yes, we are.
All right, there you go. All right, we'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, Peyton, thank you. Yeah, send Josiah on up this way, or we can let Coach Haskins know. I mean, he had lots to say about this Bryan Station team. Maybe that's his newest coaching staff addition right there.
That was a dangerous interview. It looked like Peyton was talking into a porcupine. Did you notice the little tip on the microphone? It was
yes.
Like, I don't know what that technology's called, but our chief photojournalist, Noah Lockhart, has all sorts of gizmos. Peyton does so well with the fans, doesn't he?
He really brings this football atmosphere to life, getting a look to what these fans are able to experience, which is what football season is all about. Not only the games, but just coming out, supporting your teams on a nice, crisp fall night. I mean, it's one of my favorite seasons.
3rd and goal from the 1. That may have been the easiest touchdown pass of Cam Page's career. Just threw it out into the flat, and then the waltz across the goal line. That's all Jameer Boards needed. Just needed to break the plane, and that's about all he did. He's tired.
Yeah.
Cale Phelps on for the extra point. With just under a minute to go. Trying to put the 32nd point on the board. Bryan Station trying to anticipate that snap count. Didn't quite pull it off. Offsides. You can see the North Hardin players walking behind the end zone, making their way to the far sideline, getting ready for the second game of our doubleheader.
Yes, as you mentioned that, likely going to be a bit later than an 8:30 kick, as we still have 50 seconds left in this game, and it's currently 8:02, so that is a good note to make. That next game of North Hardin versus LCA, originally slated for 8:30, likely to be a little bit later.
All right, here's another look at that touchdown. As I mentioned, Page just flicks it out into the flat, and then Jameer Boards, all he had to do was go about a yard, and then he's in. It was almost like a basketball pass, almost like a chest pass.
Shoulder check there on the way out. Yeah.
32-9. South Warren putting the finishing touches on an impressive opening night in the Kentucky high school football season. Bryan Station with some work to do, but it's early in the season. And, as Lexington Christian Academy showed last year, you can get off to slow starts sometimes in seasons and turn it around, go all the way to a state championship. So certainly nothing to lose hope for if you're the Defenders.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still high expectations for Bryan Station. They have tons of returning talent. I think, again, they just have to identify their identity offensively and determine who's going to be the quarterback, build a system around their capabilities, and go from there. But defensively, they showed a lot of progress, a lot of potential. They should be proud about what they put out here today.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of returners, 18 in total, 9 on offense, 9 on defense. The 9 on defense seem to be working together seamlessly. They all look pretty uniform. Like you said, it's just that offense, how they all get on the same page and how they create their own identity for this 26th season.
Well, I was wrong about C.J. Carpenter getting back in the game. It's Blake Riley at quarterback now for the final 43 seconds.
Might as well. Test it.
Blake Riley, just a freshman, gets freshman some action, 6'1". No weight listed. We know he weighs something, but it's not listed. It's so early in his career that they don't have all the data on him yet.
That's right.
This will probably be the final play of the game. There's it deep, underthrown. 2 seconds still.
6'1" as a freshman. It's pretty tall. He could keep growing and at least physically grow into the body type needed to be a solid QB1 down the line.
No doubt.
Here's your play of the game, sponsored by S&S Tire.
All right. Well, with 2 seconds left on the clock, it is now time for a play of the game presented by S&S Tire. This is going to be the South Warren touchdown. Of course, the man of our hour, also the player of the game, is going to be Camden Page. That touchdown going to Isaiah Bridges. And that is going to conclude game 1 of our double header here to open up our home team Friday night showcase, where South Warren is going to defeat Bryan Station 32-9. South Warren starting off this season 1-0. Bryan Station coming up on the losing end of things, starting the 2026 year 0-1. Lots of promising things, lots of things to work on as well, and that is going to conclude, once again, Game 1. Don't go anywhere. We will be back with Game 2, North Hardin versus LCA, coming up in just a bit.
You always like to see the handshake line, the sportsmanship. It's one of the things that's so important in really all of sport, but you see it on display every Friday night in the high school football ranks. And just nice to see after two teams go hard against each other, both wanting to win, both very competitive, both can get frustrated at times, but at the end of the day, they can slap some skin as they go through that line. Andre, were you a good loser? I know you didn't lose much in your career, but were you a good loser?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
I think that's all you need to know. That's said, all you need to know.
I don't recall.
Well, he played for the Giants, and they're not good losers, so those fans would let him know, I'm sure.
I plead the fifth.
Me being one of those fans, I would like to think us New York Giants fans are hospitable through wins and losses, but can't speak for us all. We're passionate. We're New Yorkers. We're passionate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not nearly as bad as Philadelphia fans. I've never heard of New York Giants or Jets fans booing Santa Claus, so Philadelphia will always have you beat on that.
Ain't that the truth? All right, well, now we're going to present the trophy from tonight's game. Of course, going to South Warren, and joining us shortly as well. And just a little bit after this, Connor is going to be joining us live from the sideline with interviews from the winning head coach and the player of the game.
Matt Montgomery handing out the hardware down on the field. A nice moment for both teams. There's Jordan Haskins. See, still a smile on his face at the end of this one.
Deservedly so.
He knows he had a lot of good things out there on the field. We got our final statistics handed to us from the friendly folks next door here in the press box. Camden Page finishing 19 of 24. Not bad at all. 240 yards, 4 touchdowns, a long of 37. He got that to Caps early in the game on that somewhat of a trick play. Caps finishing with 126 yards receiving on 8 grabs. What else stands out on these stats?
I mean, the fact that Jordan Haskins came in, not the QB1, and threw for, 29 yards, not a bunch, but he outthrew the starting quarterback, Carpenter, who only collected 17. So, that's got to say something that he was more efficient. They threw for the same amount. They threw for 10 attempts with 4 completed. So, it's got to say something.
And Haskin had 2 significant drops, one that could have been a touchdown.
It could have been close to 100 yards passing.
It could have been close to 100 yards. And the system isn't necessarily built around his ability. So, again, there was a lot of promising opportunities for him. I think if, they'll have to reassess and determine what's going to make most sense for the system moving forward. But they do have 2 guys that could possibly be capable of running the system moving forward.
And that has to be a good feeling for South Warren. The Spartans holding up the trophy tonight. It's not the state championship trophy, but it's still hardware to add to the cabinet back at school. And after accepting the runner-up hardware, nice to be the ones getting the main hardware tonight again. And there they are, still celebrating. Well-deserved celebration for that school. You see head coach Brandon Smith probably telling them, all right, guys, we're going to enjoy this for 24 hours, and then we start to focus on the next opponent. Isn't that usually what they say?
That's typically it. You get one day to celebrate and enjoy it, and then it's back to the grind.
Mm-hmm.
But good for them. I know it's going to be an enjoyable trip back home, likely a 3.5, 4-hour trip.
See a couple of people down there on the field in the foreground. On the left is Taryn Jacobs. She's one of our new reporters at Fox 56 News. She does a great job. She's hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. She's a University of Miami graduate. Then on the right is our news director, Mark Glover. You want to talk about somebody who's willing to do anything to make us win? It's that guy, and he's ready to get the interview there. He's making sure that Brandon Smith comes over to our crew, and also maybe a player of the game.
Well, while Connor is getting those interviews set up, here comes LCA in North Hardin as slowly green and gold fans are going out, and it looks like blue and white fans are coming in. So again, game 2 coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere while we stand by and wait for Connor coming to us with those sideline interviews.
And based on who I saw Mark Glover shadowing down the field to meet Connor, it's going to be Camden Page. Number 7 was making his way down the field. So we expect that interview just shortly here at the stadium.
Yeah, Camden Page, our player of the game again. 240 yards passing on the day, 4 touchdowns, 37 long. With that being said, we will talk to that very man, Connor.
All right, I am joined by South Warren's head coach, Brandon Smith. Coach, great win. Like you said in the first half, it wasn't the prettiest thing. What'd you like in the second half from your team?
I thought we played really poised. The execution wasn't great. We had penalties. I don't think we really cleaned the things up. We kept getting ourselves behind the sticks and silly mistakes like that. But I really was proud of the decision-making across the board with the team and keeping their poise and their composure. And then, making plays when we had to, and they responded when we had to. And, that's a sign of an experienced team, and I'm proud of those guys.
All right, mainly in the third quarter, I was over on your sideline. I heard a lot of your seniors kind of being the coaches over there. So what's it say about your team that the players are really voicing up what they need to be done?
Yeah, I think that's, kind of the point I was making there is that those guys showed a lot of composure and poise. They didn't get rattled. They didn't get real emotional. I'm not a real emotional guy, and that's kind of the way we bring up the team, and I thought they did a good job with that the whole way through.
All right, 2-0 in the showcase. What's it say about the team that they can play in these big spotlight games and maybe going forward to a possible another run at a state title?
Yeah, this is a great bowl. I've enjoyed it, and Bryan Station's got a lot better, since last year. I think they got a good team, and we've had a good experience, and ready to move on next week.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Congrats on the win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, and we're now joined by the player of the game, Camden Page. Camden, congrats on the win. You heard Coach say it. Bryan Station a lot better than last year. What did you see from your teammates out there?
I just saw a bunch of guys getting after it, honestly. They fought through the hard times. Penalties set us back, like Coach Smith said, but all the guys fought through it, and they did what they needed to do.
All right, and it was a very defensive-driven game early on until the end there. So how are you guys kind of able to unlock, finally be able to score and pull away?
Yeah, so, just executing. It wasn't very great, but we did what we needed to do and make big plays when big plays were needed. And, our defense has always been the backbone of our team, and they are again this year, so it's awesome.
Coach Smith said he's not a very emotional guy. You're vocal, but you're not getting super emotional over there. So how have the team really stepped up to kind of be coaches out there on the field without Smith having to throw his voice out?
Off season we talked about how we needed more leaders and things like that. So I think we all just really tried to put it together as a team and go out there and just be coaches like you said, but I don't really know how to explain it, but that's really what we focused on.
All right, and was it like playing the showcase again, 2-0, good start, hopefully for another state title run, you think?
I hope so. That's the plan. It always is. It's awesome playing in this bowl. It's a beautiful night out tonight, so I'm glad we got to come away with the win.
All right, Camden, thank you so much. You. Congrats. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
The player of the game is sponsored by ecampus.com.
All right, Connor, thank you. And thank you for tuning in once again. South Warren is going to defeat Bryan Station in its opening game of the 2026 season, 32-9. But don't go anywhere. We have game 2 coming up of our doubleheader, North Hardin versus LCA here at LCA's home field. For Kelly Harrison, Paul Jones, and Andre Woodson, we'll be right back.
You're watching the Fox 56 ecampus.com Home Team Showcase.